That was horrible. Hey, dude, I just got back from the shop, and I have this crazy plant in my car.
I had a quick question. What's the size of the shop? We're talking like a large, huge shop, like a mid-sized shop,
like a little mom and pop shop,
like a little.
Don't worry about the size. Don't worry about the size.
You said little, so we'll go with like a little store.
It was like an average shop.
An average shop. And what was inside this average shop?
Of like medium occurrences. It's an average shop.
Shop of medium occurrences. What'd you find inside? You said there's something about a plant inside of this place?
Yeah. There's a plant. Come check it out. Did you see this?
Yeah. It looks kind of...
It keeps screaming, eat me, and I don't know why.
So this plant you found inside of an average store of...
Yeah, dude.
Average... What was it? I've already forgotten what we said. Average shop of medium occurrences.
Yeah, you go in there and you just feel,
I feel fine. But this plant wants you to eat it? This plant is saying, eat me.
Eat me. Yeah. See, listen, right?
Over and over. That sounds terrifying.
Pretty crazy, dude. I don't know. Should I eat it?
I think maybe you should try to eat it. Okay. Or what you could do instead is take
a big bite.
No, hold on. Before you take a big bite, there's good money opportunity here. We can take this plant. It talks, apparently. Did you ask if it sings? Can the plant sing?
No.
That's the plant itself. Cannot.
I fucking hate music.
But I was thinking maybe we could take this average size store of medium occurrences and turn it into like there's big musical potential here. People love musicals, don't we know this?
Why?
Every movie musical that goes into theaters.
Is upset about this. He does not understand why this has anything to do with
because we know people love musicals because every time there's a movie musical, when they make a trailer for it, they really push the fact that it's a movie musical, right?
You're being sarcastic.
I'm being so sarcastic. People hate musicals. True. I put all of my money into musicals. Derek, please, I need a big hit. I need this plant that says "Eat Me" to sing for me, please.
Okay, let's ask. Hey, plant, you want to sing? Okay, fine. What do you want to hear? What do you want this plant to sing?
Try a little something like this. Average shop of medium occurrences. It's got a terrible ring to it, doesn't it?
Horrible.
I think the problem is what we're trying to do here is we got a little bit of a duet happening between the two of us.
We're gonna do it.
And
I get it.
Yeah. It's suddenly average.
I'm very average. I'm just a plant.
The point is, though, we're doing terrible here. It's a duet when it could easily be a quartet. If we had two more voices here to help us out.
That's great. We don't even know who you are yet, Isaac.
Obviously I'm C-less. That's me.
Audrey. It's me.
Yeah.
I'm Audrey.
Audrey. C-less and Audrey in our new musical, Average Shop of Medium Occurrences. I'm still not convinced that's the original what we said first. Is it okay? Yeah, we'll go with that. I believe it. Yeah,
let's go back.
It's fine.
Yep, that was it.
That was it. We checked, yeah. Point is, let's bring in two new friends here. We've got some friends in the studio with us today for our studio recording of Average Shop of Medium Occurrences.
Yeah, we have Mushmore.
Derek,
actually, hold on.
Derek,
stop.
Mushnick. Derek, it could just be Mushnick.
It literally could just be Mushnick. I think that was a crazy revelation.
Because
you'll understand.
I guess before we get too deep into there, my name is Isaac, and you are.
We could just end the bit. Yeah. The bit died with Mushnick.
But it's so good because I love Mushnick.
It's so good. Anyway, I'm Derek,
and this is That Was Horrible, a podcast where we do our best. At reviewing the worst.
Dang it.
But not always the worst. Sometimes we bring in two friends here to talk about something that is a little bit better than that. But yes, we have C-less, Audrey,
we don't have
Nick here. Nick lives.
See, that's funny because it's Nick.
It's funny. We got to have something for Kortney, though.
Well, all you have to do is swap out the first letter with a K, and it's still Crystal.
That's fair. You're right. It's perfect. Crystal and Mushnick. We got the whole gang here together.
Whole gang's here. I mean, the fact of the matter is we have two wonderful guests in the studio. We have Nick and Kortney. Did you want to spell it with a K or a C?
I'm spelled with a K.
Yeah, she's the K, Kortney, the cool version.
I'm the best version. What are you talking about?
True,
absolutely. Well, you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves. Nick, you've actually been on the podcast before. Go ahead and introduce yourselves for those who didn't.
Yeah. Those who are not familiar with Average Shop of Medium Occurrences.
Yeah.
I'm Nick. I'm a creative director of Night Signal Entertainment, studio behind Home Safety Hotline, which you might have seen Markiplier and or Funky Frog more recently.
Funky Frog, yeah, that's which I
Funky
hear has
frog
gotten
bait.
quite a bit of traction for the two of you guys, right? Because Nick here is creator of said game, and then Kortney, lovely wife here, has played a significant part in it. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, I was asked by husband of Night Signal Entertainment.
Real cool guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Hold on. No. You just said he's the husband of Night Signal.
Yeah, because I'm the wife.
So,
I'm the wife of Night Signal. What are you
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
so you're both married to Night
cool
Signal
title.
Entertainment.
about? Yes,
So Night Signal is your third.
yes.
That is the
Yes,
entity to
financially.
which we are wed.
I actually feel like it's more like a warlock pact, honestly.
It did feel like a little bit of a warlock.
Yeah, like that's your pact demon is Night Signal.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
pretty
didn't mean to say.
No,
sidetrack
he asked me my opinion on what he should name the company, and I was like, name it after your first game, dude.
Beautiful.
I think
Yeah.
that was
It's
a
got
great
a great
idea.
ring
Yeah,
to it too.
exactly. It just works.
But so yeah,
But
Kortney.
yeah, I unintentionally started working with Night Signal Entertainment. I am the voice of Carol from Home Safety Hotline,
And
then,
the
of
face as
course,
well.
and the face of Carol. And I'm also the casting director for Night Signal Entertainment.
Very fun.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's neat.
Fun facts.
You got your hands in a lot of pies here. How has the reception been to you being Carol in Night Signal or in Home Safety Hotline?
Everybody loves her.
Everyone loves. That's all.
She's great.
Like
Yeah.
you were well known throughout this. Like fans are fond of Carol.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because again, we were talking about this before we started recording, but the idea of people who have actually seen my face and my voice and associate me with that character is wild.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, it makes me feel really, really nice because people think I'm pretty and people
Yeah.
think I'm beautiful, and I'm
Absolutely.
like,
What incredible
That's so
validation
good.
from so many people.
I'm getting shipped with streamers.
That's
like
so
Carol is
crazy.
getting shipped with streamers.
That's a level of fame that I didn't even know existed. But
Oh
like,
yeah, that means you've made it.
I couldn't
actually.
imagine attempting to attain that, and here you are with Home Safety Hotline, who's made it this far. It's so cool.
Yeah, it just
so
like
cool.
it kind of blows my mind a little bit because I didn't think I grew up not thinking that I was like the prettiest person at all.
Yeah.
I'll be sappy for a minute. Nick was the first man in my life who told me that he accepted my hair the way that it was,
Aw.
which is in its curled form. He didn't like my hair
Such
straight.
nice curly hair.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
So he was the first boyfriend I had that was like, no, I like your curls.
Screw
And I
all the
was
rest
like,
before
done.
that.
Done.
There it is.
Married.
Locked in.
10th grade, Nick and I were set for life after that.
Oh,
So,
that's cute.
Yep.
that.
But yeah, so I didn't grow up thinking that I was pretty or anything because I'm not what is the typical Utah stereotype,
Yeah, right.
stereotypical girl out here.
And then who would have assumed through your husband's horror game, this is what helps you feel a bit more validated in your self-worth and
Yeah.
looks? Like that's would
a
have
niche.
never assumed that would be how something like that
Yeah,
could come
Amazing
around.
though.
Another fun fact, I did not like horror at all
Oh, interesting.
until
That's
I met
crazy
Nick.
because like I know you as like a person who is big into horror, right?
I am now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't start watching horror and appreciating horror as a genre until I met Nick.
Yeah.
I stayed far away from anything that had the word spooky, scary.
Actively avoiding it. Now here you
like,
are.
Haunted Mansion was like the bane of my existence at Disneyland.
That's crazy.
but now
the
it's like my
best
favorite
ride.
thing.
Oh,
it is my
goodness.
favorite thing in the
Well,
entire
Courtney,
world.
what is your day job, Courtney?
And now,
You wouldn't have thought it. You wouldn't have thought it. But I work at a haunted house.
Crazy. Like you've
cool.
gone so like 0 to 100.
I know. My parents are so disappointed.
There are lots of ways to disappoint your parents. I never would have thought of like going so deep into horror would be one of them.
Yeah, no. I was like, I couldn't. If you told myself at like 13 years old, by the way, you're going to be working at a haunted house.
Yeah, your life pretty heavily revolves around horror.
Exactly. So, I work at a haunted house and I run escape rooms in my said haunted house because
So cool.
all of the
So
escape
cool.
rooms are either horror themed,
Love it.
or a horror adjacent,
Wild.
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. But I appreciate horror more than anything now, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Halloween 24/7. Let's
Yes.
go.
No, you guys are well at home here on That Was Horrible,
yeah.
Horrible, our little horror movie podcast.
Yeah.
And we've got a fun one. There's a reason that we're doing this today because Kortney and I are currently both in a production of a little horror musical you may know as the
Medium
Average
House
Shop of Medium
of-
Occurrences.
Average shop of medium occurrences.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
No, the Little Shop of Horrors, which like is weirdly.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was so off. I meant
That's
to
a
say
much
that.
better title.
That's
fuck
so
the
much
fuck the
better.
Average Shop of Medium Occurrences.
I'm gonna
I
go-
mean, you did sound pretty reminiscent of what we just watched.
yeah,
You know, that's fair. That's
It
fair.
was an average shop of medium
Medium
occurrences
occurrences.
with a lot of chase scenes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Weirdly enough, like I for the longest time when I kept making friends with theater people. I don't know how it ended up happening. Just throughout my childhood, like the friends I would associate with all liked and enjoyed doing theater, and I did not. Because when I was younger, I was far too worried about being cool. That was the biggest thing for
You're
me.
still
like,
too worried about
I'm always worried about being cool all the time.
He's got tattoos now.
I have tattoos, so now I look cooler than I really am.
Where did those come from?
Oh my! What are those?
I know. I met Isaac before he had tattoos.
That's
did you?
weird.
I did, yeah,
That's so
because Isaac
strange.
and I did do a production together.
Of little.
I wish it was Little Shop of Horrors, but he was
we lie?
too young.
was
Lest we forget, I'm
little.
older than Isaac.
Yeah, me too. He's a
And
little baby.
he's just a baby.
Just a baby.
I'm just a baby. No, we were in a little production of Footloose,
Oh, that's what you guys
Crazy.
which I absolutely hated.
Yeah.
I will never do that ever again in my
Nope.
life. I will never subject myself to something like that
Yeah,
ever
Do not
again.
need to be doing
It's
Footloose
one of the
again.
worst.
I believe both of us. Were you an actual dancer?
No.
I wasn't a dancer either.
No, because they did this thing, which is crazy. Normally, for those who are not incredibly familiar with how theater works, there's typically an ensemble in a show. You know, the cast of everybody else that's not the lead and supporting lead characters.
The town.
This production had two separate
Ensemble
ensembles.
casts.
One of them was just people, just ensemble. And the other one was the dance ensemble in what is known as a dance show. And that's where I sat. I was not the
And
dancer.
I was like, wait a minute.
But you were in the dance ensemble?
I was not. No, I was a regular
you were,
ensemble
you were
guy.
just a guy.
Just a
And-
dude.
Were you in the dance or you in the
I
the guys?
wasn't. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy. During this point in my life, I was all about dance.
Oh.
I was a dancer.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you guys are saying. You're when you said you weren't a dancer, you're saying you weren't in the show
As a dancer.
As a
Because
dancer.
I interpreted that as like we don't dance. We're not dancers.
We're the
Well,
non-dancers.
that's what we ended up doing
Pretty
in
much what
Footloose,
we
which
did.
was that we did
Crazy.
not dance.
Insane.
I see.
And yeah, they cast us as non-dancer ensemble people
Which makes
in
you
Footloose.
Which makes you
Kind of
feel
a slap in
so
the face.
good. There was definitely no sense of elitism from the
Oh.
dance corps and then us on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely not.
ridiculous.
No.
No, of course not.
But yeah, no, during that time in my life too, that was like devastating for me.
Crazy.
It was devastating
I didn't know
for
you
me.
were like a dancer
Yes.
at the time.
I was over taking classes with Odyssey Dance Theater
Crazy.
at the time.
Nuts.
Like that was crazy.
and then they put you in that position. Awful.
Exactly. And it's because, again, I didn't look like everybody else. Did you notice
crazy.
that everybody in that dancers ensemble
Yeah.
pretty much looked the
All
same?
looked the same. All
Hi, we're
cookie-cutter.
theater people. We like to talk about drama.
Yeah, that's our stuff here.
We
Yeah.
live drama. We
So yeah,
act drama. we
Courtney
talk
and I
drama.
actually go a ways back there by doing that stuff, and we actually have both auditioned for a production of Little Shop of Horrors that I did not get into, but she got into, which was great. Playing one of the urchins, the doo-wops in said
And
show.
then Isaac beat me at a costume competition.
Was that when you dressed up as Spider-Man?
No.
No.
You should lie to me and tell me that's when.
That's
you
when
dressed
I
up as-
dressed up as Spider-Man.
Who were you? What was that costume competition?
Oh God, you had an appendage. That was
Oh,
not
were you
an
Ash?
actual appendage.
Appendage.
were you
Wow.
Ash?
Are you talking about from the It's Only a Movie Festival?
Yes.
We both lost that one. Do you
Yeah,
remember
we
that?
both lost that
I
one.
was upset.
But you
about
beat
that.
me because you got more screams.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
I dressed as Tiff from Chucky.
and it was
Okay,
such a good costume.
Yeah.
because beyond doing Home Safety Hotline and doing haunted house stuff, you also have a history of like really awesome cosplay stuff, being big into that community as
Yes.
well.
Oh, cool. Yes.
So yeah, you do wonderful work, but I remember actually being upset at the fact that we were at this little film festival here in Utah. They had a costume contest for all of us dressed up there, and some of us went pretty hard. You know, Kortney, who has done lots of cosplays, and Nick was dressed up as well, had some great costumes, and we all lost to a girl dressed as Wednesday.
Oh, is that who won?
In a
Yes.
costume you could get at
Yes.
Spirit Halloween, and she got a trophy for it too. I was mad, not just for me, but for all of us.
I did end up getting some justice after that because guess what I did like a year ago? I went to Spirit Halloween.
Okay.
I bought a Wednesday costume.
Did you win a costume contest?
No, I posted on the internet and I got validation. That's all I
Nice.
needed.
I just realized I was also at that
You
competition.
were there,
and I was
you were
dressed as
also
Van
dressed
Helsing.
up. You were dressed as Van
Oh
Helsing.
my god.
I just realized
in a
that.
weird connection here, your wife Emily was there dressed as
As
Audrey
Audrey
1
too.
and 2 at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
Remember?
did you see her costume? She
Oh
was
That
my
sounds
god.
amazing.
dressed
I
inside the
do
plant.
remember
Yeah, she
that.
had knitted this whole cool
Oh,
hood
that's
that was like the
fun.
plant. It was
Yeah.
such a fun, cool idea.
Very, very cool
No,
costume.
my
That
Tiff-
also should have won.
Oh, yeah.
my Tiff, I had a blonde afro.
Right. Yeah.
There it
And
is.
Nick was dressed as Chucky.
Yep, I
There it
remember
is.
the
Mine
Chucky.
was actually just Spirit Halloween, lowest effort. The wig didn't even fit my head.
He was more concerned about my costume
It was.
and
It was.
having it look
I was.
good.
I was
very
there.
good.
I was there as like an accessory
Yeah.
to her
I'm the
costume.
accessory to yours.
I said, Nick, I'm going to dress like Tiff this year. And he goes, okay. I said, we're going to go and get you a Chucky costume. And he said, okay.
Thumbs up. Good to go.
This year it is going to flip for the two of us, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm actually not going to be the focal point this year. Nick will be.
Interesting.
He's going to be Tiff, and you're going to be Chucky.
There we
Yes.
go.
Well, I will have to do a switch like that at some point. But no, I'm asking Nick to be Nosferatu for me this year.
Stop.
Oh,
Are we
can do
talking
the-
like most recent iteration of Nosferatu, like with the
Mustache.
mustache? and
Exactly, with the
everything?
mustache.
Oh,
Do the
that would
voice.
be so good.
Oh! I can't
It's
roll my
because
R's.
he
Is
can
the
do
problem, but I
because
can't
he
do
can
the,
do the meme. He
I'm
can do
trying
the
to think of
meme.
the what is
The-
it
you
that he
must
says
bounce on
again?
it.
Yes,
Crazy
he can do the
style.
you can bounce. You must
Oh,
bounce
yeah.
on it crazy style.
You must bounce on it. Crazy style.
You just have to walk around and do that.
Yeah, that's all it's
Holy God.
That'll sell the costume itself.
Bill
But-
Skarsgård
I'm like,
himself.
I'm like, listen, if he starts growing out this beard,
Yeah.
he'll be there, but he's got the stash already.
Oh, the stash is there.
Exactly.
We're ready.
I'm
I'm
like-
so
Shave it
excited.
all.
All I got to do is put him in like a fur cloak and like a fur hat.
So who does that make you then in this costume?
I'm gonna do Ellen.
Okay, perfect.
Puppies.
We've been the studio's been flooded with lovely puppers,
Hello.
tiny
Oh my
dogs.
God, they're little corgis.
Yeah.
I love corgis. Look at their
Sorry.
little butts.
My
dog
dog's
the show.
interrupted.
Yeah, no, I literally just ordered a nightgown. That's it.
Incredible.
Which
And-
honestly,
Incredible.
I think there's something about like as being a person who does cosplay so much, there's something nice about an easy costume
Yeah, that's the funny thing about cosplay. You go hard
for a
for
costume,
364 days of the year, and then when Halloween rolls around, I'm like, let me do the simplest
Let me just do
costume ever.
something really
We
Be
did.
comfortable.
We did. Because of that, we did Tethered. We did Tethered from Us.
Oh yeah, nobody knew who we were.
Nice.
And they
Nobody
were
knew
all,
who we were.
That's so simple. I feel like I don't know. I
That's
feel
a
like if
good
you're
costume.
a real horror guy, you would understand.
Yeah, it was when Us had just initially come out.
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were also. It was kind of a. It was. I mean, we weren't like specific characters.
Yeah.
No.
We were
Just-
our
We
own
were just our tethered
tethered
version
yes.
of ourselves.
Which is cool. That's a cool concept.
Which was
I love
like,
that.
I like
oh,
that,
let me
yeah.
mess up my hair a little. Let me give myself some dark circles
Yeah.
and not wear any makeup
Yeah.
and wear a red jumpsuit.
Love it. Perfect.
Call it a day.
Done. Easy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love such weird connections going back to that film festival, and then Emily dressed as Audrey 1 and 2.
Yeah, now we're here
For us here talking
average
about
shop of
little
medium
shop, average
occurrences.
shop of medium occurrences. But yeah, I was not into theater for the longest time, and then
Well, you went back to that story.
Yeah,
that was
I came back.
honestly kind of impressive. You put a period in the middle of a word.
Yeah,
We had an
yeah.
entire other conversation, in
And then came right back
Yeah.
to it. But like I had even done, I was in a production of like the Pirates of Penzance. I was in a production of Pippin. I didn't care for it. I was like, I don't really like this. It wasn't until I wasn't in, but I saw a production of Little Shop of Horrors that I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
This is incredible. We got this kick-ass music. The setting is fun. There's a talking man-eating plant. Like, I'm here for it. And then the rest is history. And then I'm stuck doing it since then. But yeah, so
And now you love Footloose.
and now I love Footloose. I love feet.
No,
that's
and
a lie.
then you
A
just
lot of
did.
lies just happened.
But before this, you had done what? Alice by Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Courtney and I'd love to do musicals and such, and so we thought it'd be a fun time to bring some friends onto our podcast to discuss the Little Shop of Horrors, as you know it as a musical. Most people know it. There's also a wonderful movie from 1983 starring Rick Moranis, a lovely, lovely man. The original Audrey is Ellen Green in that as well, directed by Frank Oz. Who has
I
a
love
very,
Ellen Green.
very
I
iconic
love
voice.
her.
Can we talk about the fact that apparently, in the much research I've done into Little Shop as an entire show, Ellen Green was a nightmare to work with.
I'm sure she was,
That
just like
makes
a lot
so
of
much
people
sense.
were.
The
makes
problem
so much
is, though,
sense.
like everybody, like in like the books and stuff I've read about it, it's like everyone says she was a diva. She had to have it her way, but everyone agrees that she was right 100% of the time.
That's because she probably knew she was right.
Exactly. That's the thing. She
But
would,
that's
like,
just
really,
diva behavior.
She would make a stink about a lot of things on set, and like enough to the point where they had to have mediators at certain points in the show. And she was always right because she always had the best interests of the show.
Well, and it's like,
at heart,
I'm sorry,
you know?
why do we need to have diva mentality be a negative thing?
That's true. Sometimes good things come out of it.
I'm like, somebody standing their ground, excuse me.
yeah.
Well, also, it was the 80s, and it was a woman standing up for herself in Hollywood.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
now we look back on that and we're like, well, great, she was just standing up for herself. Of course she was right. But then they're like,
at the time, a woman
this
having
diva.
thoughts and feelings. You can't even vote. What are you
Exactly.
doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, no. I'm like, diva mentality where? If somebody said that, like, again, if we looked at everything that she probably did, and she was probably justified for acting the
Exactly.
way that she was. Because what? Probably they made her do some sort of, like, crazy stunt that
Yeah.
probably wasn't safe.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But
then we find out that she was like killing a guy.
and she was right for that.
It's like, I'm supposed
I stand
to
for
do this.
women's rights and wrongs. But
This isn't diva, this is murder.
So most people know Little Shop of Horrors as its musical entity, but it actually started as a movie from 1960.
What?
By Roger Corman.
Who's
that?
Not a musical, even slightly, not even a little bit. And it's got a lot of the recognizable bits of it. There's a man-eating plant. There's Seymour. There's Mushnick. There's Audrey. But there's a couple.
There's
of
Jack
differences.
Nicholson.
There's Jack Nicholson. The Joker.
You must be joking.
This movie is my Joker.
nice. Good call. Good reference. Okay, so you guys have all seen this before. I had not seen.
Derek was the only one in the room who has not seen the original 1960.
And the only reason
Little
I
Shop
saw
of
it was
Horrors.
because Nick made me watch it.
Yeah.
So
And he's right for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if it wasn't obvious, that is what we are here to discuss. The 1960 Roger Corman Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, I guess we should be very frank.
Yeah.
Oz.
Be frank, Oz.
That it is not the average shop of
Medium
miscellaneous
occurrences.
Damn, I was trying to change it every time.
it is the average shop of medium occurrences. That is what this original movie is.
It is a very average
But
shop.
only in concept, only in idea.
Spiritually.
Spiritually, yes, it is very mid. But I didn't say that. You don't know how I felt about the movie yet. So yeah, let's talk about the movie a little bit. Little Shop of Horrors was written and directed by Roger Corman. The original story was actually derived from the crazy man Charles B. Griffith.
The crazy man.
The crazy-
What makes you say that?
he
Why
wrote
did you
this
give him this
story.
prefix?
Because he wrote this
That
story.
is fair.
I mean,
a man
that-
who would
that
come up
makes
with
sense.
this concept has to be a crazy man. You don't have to be crazy to write here, but
That's
it
what they
helps.
say about everybody that writes horror.
That's, you know.
Yeah, what's up with
We're
this?
looking at you, Nick. Are you? How crazy are you?
The thing I find funny about that is people don't think that Stephen King is crazy. They just look at him and they're like,
How could they possibly think
I
otherwise?
think that Stephen King is crazy.
I think he is.
no, but he's a genius. He's like crazy genius.
Most crazy people, I think all geniuses are crazy. I think not all crazy people are geniuses, but all geniuses
These
are
are
crazy.
crazy, yeah.
That, you know what?
You don't have to be crazy to work here at the average shop of medium occurrences.
So there's a lot of.
Keep coming back.
I mean, you got to keep bringing it back. That's the name of the episode. So,
Absolutely. We found the title of
That
this
is
episode.
the title of the
for sure.
episode. If it is not, I'm going to sue.
I'm writing.
I mean, we spent a while
It's in the
talking about
contract.
lawsuits earlier with Corners, so I believe that she could probably sue us.
She knows her way around a lawsuit.
I think she's been sued like 8 times, is what she told me earlier. I'm just kidding. She has not been sued. I don't think you've ever been sued.
No.
Just the company you work for has been sued.
Oh my god.
All right. All my bits come from somewhere. It's just you have to delve down deep.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster doing a podcast with Derek because he'll go to stretches and it's somehow half come back to the point.
No. It will always come back to the point.
It'll always come back.
You just got to ride the wave. Enjoy the journey.
What can you tell me about Roger Corman's The Little Shop of Horrors?
So yeah, when they wrote it, there's a lot of things that they claim that people have claimed over the years were inspirations or influences. But it was originally written as The Passionate People Eater.
Yeah, the OG title. Kind of like a play on like the Purple People Eater, the song.
I would have rather have that be the name of the song.
Right? The Passionate People Eater.
Passionate People Eater?
When did The Purple People Eater come out? I don't know if it was the same time.
It's an old song.
It came out in 1920.
Purple.
Then I'll believe it.
Purple.
We're all Googling
Tequila.
it. Who's going to Google it? Who's going to Google
Purple
it
People.
fastest?
The Purple song by Sheb Woolley came
the
out.
hell?
Who the hell is Sheb Woolley? Let's see.
I mean, it's right there. It came out in
Top
1958.
charts in
It came out
1958.
Wait.
So absolutely. It was like relevant at the time. Very relevant.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
thought that was like a 90s song.
No.
Am I stupid?
No, that one's definitely been an older song.
One-eyed, flying purple people eater.
My favorite part of that.
One-eyed, one horn, flying purple people eater.
I said
Sure looks strange to me.
You know so much of this
people
song.
eater. What's your line?
Mr. Nosferatu.
Please
You
tell
know so
no.
much.
You tell me you watched
Eating-
Nope, right?
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it sure is fine.
He's like, I'm still going. He said, I'm still going.
there's a lot more to this song than I thought there was. These lyrics are stray.
Yeah, and that's why they end the song with tequila.
Why? Yeah, why?
Wait, do they?
The flying
That's the
purple
end of
people
the
eater
song.
is the
Because
song.
he's singing tequila.
He sings tequila.
Yeah. He becomes a rock star.
Yeah.
Tequila.
song.
Yeah.
Man, heroin was one hell of a
Because he has a line about he wants to be in a rock and roll band, but that's not the reason that I came to land. I want to get a job in a rock and roll band. Is
Tequila.
what the
I get that.
Purple People Eaters.
That part makes sense to me.
And also, the song sounds very reminiscent of said song, Tequila.
That's fair. That's fair.
I have homework.
I love that in the lyrics there's a part that just says sped up saxophone solo.
Yeah, I started singing the sax solo. There you go.
This is very
Tequila.
interesting. Actually, I'm on genius.com, and you know how it like highlights lyrics when there's words like more to say about it. So like some explanations of them, like, oh cool, there's explanation for it. Sing a bop bap a boom a boopa lapa
A wop
loom
bop a boop bop a wop bamboo.
There's notes about that.
That's so hard to say.
A wop bop a loop bop a wop bamboo.
But
That's not hard to say at
but
all.
It
You
says
heard it.
bop bap a boopa lapa loom bam boom. So there's more to say on that. What's interesting here is the sped up saxophone solo in brackets does have more to say on it. The Genius annotation says the sound of the alien's horn was created through the same method used to make the alien's voice on this record. It is Sheb Woolley himself playing the saxophone. But like I just like I want to know more
It's
about
giving
Sing It.
Grease. It's giving Grease.
It is giving Grease.
Allusion to Little Richard's iconic Tutti Frutti
my
in
gosh.
Wop Bop Bop Wop
Yep.
Bam Boop.
There you go. More
Anyway, the Purple
musicals.
People Eater.
So you can never, ever give me shit for my tangents going off.
You didn't want to talk about the Purple People Eater?
You mean the the passion purple, the passion person?
I'm just saying.
The passion purple eater?
Isaac, you've been doing this podcast just as long as I have. Those tangents, it's not just for me.
No, you're
The-
right.
All right.
You're right.
It was what the passion.
You'll get there
people.
one day. The Passion of the Christ.
People Eater.
The Passion of the Plant.
Passionate
Passionate
Purple
people.
Eater of the Christ.
The Passion.
A new horror movie for
The Passion of the
2024.
Plant. They should have crucified Audrey too. I'm gonna say it now. Hot take of the day.
They should have crucified Audrey too, or Seymour.
Don't crucify the plants.
Oh God!
I'll be trying to fit that into that song.
I'm trying to make some pun on "He died for your sins" to fit into.
He
got-
ate for your sins.
That's fair. He
Ate.
fed for your.
Jesus ate for
Derek,
your
Derek,
okay.
tell me more about the movie.
Sorry, I'm not holy enough. Where even was I? Oh, right. Yeah, it was originally called The Passionate People Eater,
Right.
which I'm assuming was a reference to the Purple
Directly,
People
yeah.
Eater.
That's been
What
said.
year did Purple People... No, I'm just kidding.
58.
No, we're doing a bit. Anyways, they also think that there was a 1932 story about a man-eating plant called green thoughts that say that Griffith was probably reading that and getting inspired by it. But something I didn't know is Arthur Clarke actually had a science fiction story called The Reluctant Orchid, which actually goes all the way back to 1894 with H.G. Wells writing a story called The Flowering of the Strange Orchid.
Back when they had drawings on caves to tell stories.
Yeah, it was all done in cave painting. What's a cave painting called?
I think it's just a cave drawing. Is there a more specific term for that?
I'm like, it's probably like a
Paleoglyph or
yeah.
is that what you're thinking of?
It's probably something adjacent to a hieroglyphic.
Yeah,
That's the word.
Hieroglyphic. There
That's
you
the
go.
one I was searching for. Thank you.
But it's probably an adjacent word for it.
Yeah.
I am now imagining some hieroglyphic words or, cave paintings of like a giant plant in a grocery store eating someone.
As foretold in the scrolls,
As foretold
this plant shall eat the people. A total eclipse of the sun.
And weirdly, a bunch of this movie was inspired by Dragonet, the old police TV show, which we will talk about.
At least
when we actually-
some.
Is that
some
where the
portions
cops
of
come
it.
into play?
That's
What little
they
part
claim
play
that
in
that
this
was
movie?
that was part of the
Wow.
inspiration for the movie was
crazy.
Dragnet and this old H.G. Wells book.
Wild.
So what you're saying is Griffith is not a completely crazy man coming up with this idea out of nowhere.
Somebody
he's
did.
crazy.
Otherwise, it would be crazy.
What was it was the one that was called, like, it started with a T that you mentioned.
Oh, I have to scroll.
Something
Oh,
about-
I have to get back to it.
It was like, I think it was like
The Purple People Eater.
No,
No.
You got the list in front
the
of you.
Reluctant Orchid.
no, it was before that one.
Oh,
Oh, of course.
Green Thoughts.
Yeah, see, that just tells me somebody was smoking something.
There you go.
Yeah, that actually
Perfect.
that wasn't about plants at all. It was just some guy's ramblings when he was high.
No, yeah, exactly. He got high on a plant and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna write this about a plant."
Smoked too much. I'm greening out. I'm having a thought. Wait.
Write
a
it down.
green
Put it in
thought.
the book. Honey, read this book. It's masterful. Oh, this is just more of your green thoughts. There it is. Stupid.
And that's how it comes to pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the button of the joke. Okay.
And that's the bit.
Oh my god, I was part of a bit.
Always have been. Always have been. Roger Corman is actually a pretty established director and writer. He was also a producer mostly. Like that was if you hear the name Roger Corman, you mostly think of him as a producer.
Yeah.
He produced like all the Death Race movies and Fist of the Dragon, which was everyone's favorite.
We all love these movies.
Don't forget Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader. I mean, it was honestly his
Attack of the 50-foot cheerleader.
I'm sorry.
You've never seen Attack of the is this just you guys haven't seen that movie? I don't understand.
Add that to the list.
I mean, it has a 4.4
It's
on
from
IMDb.
2012.
Yeah.
That's got the naming
Stop it.
conventions
Are
of
you
like
serious?
a 1950s B movie.
No wonder I didn't watch it.
I'm pretty sure that I saw this at like I don't know. It looks familiar to me, and I don't know why, and
This
I don't
is too
want
much.
to incriminate myself somehow.
Why?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was going to say if you'll forgive one more tangent.
Yes.
please.
Since you're on Roger
Tangents
Corman.
on this podcast?
I mean,
I-
we're saying kind of relevant. We're talking about Roger
A
Corman.
Roger Corman related anecdote that I
Please.
particularly love because I have his I've been reading
Got his
through his
number.
Biography or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know he had one of those.
And it's one of my favorite quotes from it is from someone who worked with him, which is they were working on a movie and they needed a monster,
Okay.
as you often do.
Yeah.
And he asks the sound guy to put together a monster. He says, "We need to put together a monster."
Okay.
And the sound guy's quote from the book is, "I've heard this wee shit before, Roger,
I remember you reading
and
this to
I
me.
know you're gonna do this to me again, and you're gonna make me do it." He gives this guy
hilarious.
what was it? It was something ridiculous because I remember we used this as a touch point for one of our budgets for one of our shoots. We said, "Wow, our shoot was less expensive than the one monster in that movie."
That's crazy.
It was like $1,000 he gives this guy to go and make a monster,
Insane.
and he puts together this like ping pong ball abomination.
Sounds incredible.
Incredible.
And
Yeah.
it's marvelous. I
You
forget
don't happen to know
one.
which movie, do you?
I'm trying to think of which one it was. It was like it was a very generic title, like they often were. It was like the the monster from the sea or something.
Was it the saga of the Viking woman and their voyage to the waters of the great sea serpent?
What the fuck, Roger Corman?
Not that one.
That's so many words.
Wow.
I found my next cosplay idea, you guys.
Oh my god.
From 1957.
The saga of the Viking woman and their voyage to the waters of the great sea serpent.
My favorite movie.
What a title.
Oh, you got to look at the poster too. It's absolutely incredible.
Actually, it does give like pulp.
Oh my
pulp
gosh.
novel
looking at it?
kind of shit. That's really fun.
The voyage of the Viking. I can't
made
even
so
say that.
many movies.
It takes so long to read that title. I can't repeat it. Again.
Yeah. At that point, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like I get halfway through the title.
Oh, it's Creature from the Haunted Sea.
Oh, of
Creature
course.
from the
remember
Haunted
that. I
Sea.
remember that.
And here's
Here it is.
a picture
monster
for
in
you
question.
all of the monster
Oh
in question.
my
that
God.
The sound guy put together.
You at home need to check
Everybody
out
Google
this
the creature of the haunted sea.
Oh, this creature is special to me.
There's Isaac's next cosplay. That
Oh
looks
my
like-
god, this is awesome. It's just a mound of like seaweed
just-
swampness with ping pong balls for eyes.
If that isn't the Oscar the Grouch inspiration, I don't want to be alive
I don't
anymore.
want it. Hey, Derek, I think we need to put this on our list of movies we need to watch for the podcast. It's at a 20%.
Yeah, and I need ping pong eyes.
He's incredible. This is so good.
But
Roger Corman.
Yeah, I'm
Roger
sorry.
Corman. Do you have more to say? Speak on the man.
I mean, really, I was just gonna name some of his other movies. He lives in this weird realm where he's not all B movie, but he's not all good movie.
but he kind of became known for that, like
yeah.
trusted with those kinds of movies.
He kind of established himself as like one of the first like wacky movie guys. I think is a good way to
I'm
put
just
it.
kind of a wacky movie guy.
Because he also did The Pit and the Pendulum with Vincent Price. So it's like
Wild.
he has a very weird range.
But he was notorious for finding the cheapest goddamn ways to make movies.
Yes.
Like he was the master at that, finding out how to do them with like the lowest funds you needed, and earlier than their deadlines, and that's exactly how Little Shop of Horrors
And you can talk about that now.
The Little Shop of Horrors came to be. Because basically what had happened was Roger Corman had just finished working on a movie called Bucket of Blood, which is honestly, we were talking about this, like the structure and some of the plot points are awfully similar to Little Shop in a lot of ways, where it's essentially, there's a schmucky guy who works at a job, he's in love with his gorgeous coworker, tries to find some way to impress her, finds success by doing something a bit morbid, and then things get out of hand from there. Because in that one, he makes wax figurines, and he starts out by accidentally killing a cat and encasing it in wax, and that's a statue. And so they're like, oh, we love this so much, and then they become people from there on out. Whereas in Little Shop, you have, guy who's got Audrey he's in love with. He starts feeding people to this plant, and that's how he finds success. Like, they're awfully similar in their stories. But basically what had happened was they had finished up Bucket of Blood, and the sets were not to be torn down for like another 2-3 weeks or something like that. And there's a lot of myth around like how this movie was shot, how fast it was. The myth is like it was shot in like 2 days, and there's truth to that, but there's also more that goes around it. There were like weeks after, there were reshoots that were done for it. They had like weeks of rehearsing beforehand, but a lot of like the interior sets and filming of those kinds of things were shot like almost in like 2 days and a night in such like schlocky methods. The dude would film with 2 cameras at different angles and shoot it like one time, and he's like, that's it, we're done. And they would find ways to like to edit around certain things to make it so they didn't have to fix the bad cut between things. There's actually one funny thing that I read about it that was like, there's a scene in the movie where they had like this weird, like unnatural cut between these 2 little bits, and they're like, oh, I found this footage of the moon, and that'll just fit right in there. And then later on, there was some news article, it's like the 8 meanings of the shot of the moon in Little Shop of Horrors. They're like, no,
God.
we just needed to find a way to fit some bullshit in there to fix it, because it was like that quick of a turnaround.
So I did look into it. It does look like the set was going to be torn down in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, so they use the set. So they just repurposed them from Bucket of Blood into the Little Shop
which
of
is
Horrors.
genius. The interiors were shot in 2 days. So all of the interior shots that you see in the movie.
That's what I
Interiors
figured.
were-
Yes,
all
exactly. So that's
probably was.
inside because what they basically had was the flower shop and the dentist office. Those were the 2 sets that they used.
Yep. So both those sets were only used in 2 days, and then they wrapped everything else up in about 2 more days.
Yeah.
So
All the chase sequences were
crazy.
done
Oh
in
my
one
God,
day.
yeah.
there's no way.
There's no way.
That was the longest chase scene I've ever seen. It had to have been at least 6
Absolutely.
days.
But it's fun to me, just like
Actors get tired.
like all the mythos around the creation creation of this movie, just like how quick it came to be, and then spurs like an iconic musical, which made a very good 1983 movie. Like this just shouldn't exist.
I know. I need
and
to
I
have
love
a
it.
conversation with Frank Oz. Like, why did you choose this as
How
your
did this happen?
The ending?
No, not even just the ending, just the subject itself. To be like, yes,
You
this,
mean like Alan Menken?
yeah, because like this equals musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the crazy thing. Howard Ashman loved the original movie. It would be like on television as he was a kid, and he was like, oh, this is so cool.
Right.
How the hell do you decide that needs to be a musical?
Musical.
I actually
yeah.
think I figured it out.
What you got?
It's kind of in my final expectations, but we'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
This movie didn't have anything in it. Let's break it down for a second real quick. You've got an hour and 10-minute movie with a series of so many freaking moments of nothing happening. You just have like stretches of nothing happening. So I could totally see Howard Ashman sitting on his couch. He's watching it. He's like watching the dentist kind of sing a little song. And he's like, okay, wait, now hold on. I could stretch
Is that your Howard Ashman voice?
Now hold on, I've got an
me,
idea.
Howard Ashman.
Let me
Hello.
give this a little bit of an Elvis tone.
Now maybe if we made this a little rock. And then he's like, "Oh,
This
now,
is your
now
thought
what if,
process.
Now what if the plant? What if the plant didn't sound like a scribbly little boy? What if it sounded like a man? Feed me. Oh, ooh.
Yeah, because that's
sounded
one
like
thing
a
in the
deep bass
revised
black
musical version of the show. The plant has this like fun, soulful, big voice, right?
yeah.
Derek, tell me, like reenact for me what the original voice of the plant sounds like. Audrey Jr.
I feed me.
but like more obnoxious.
I feed me.
That's better. Yeah. It is kind of funny though, like how this
Ex-director.
even came to pass, because what had happened was Howard Ashman watched the musical a lot, or the movie, the original 1960 movie, often as a kid, loved it, was not well loved by a lot of people. He wanted to make a musical because like that's what his calling was. So wanted to make a show. Was basically almost one for one ripping off Little Shop, changing some names and like changing some plot devices. But after a while, he was like, what am I doing? Why don't I just do Little Shop? Why don't I just make it a thing? My favorite bit of knowledge about the acquiring the rights for the Little Shop of Horrors as a name and all the characters. Roger Corman was so goddamn low budget, didn't put shit into this movie. He didn't even get copyright for this movie.
That's
it was
crazy.
not
That's
copyrighted.
wild.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
However, when they were trying to be proper about acquiring the rights to make the musical, they come to Roger Corman. They're like, let's work out a deal. We'll make some arrangement. You get a little piece of this. And like under the assumption that it was copywritten. And he's like, okay, sure, yeah, I'll let you in on a little bit of my shit. It wasn't until later they found out it wasn't even fucking copywritten. They didn't need to do that.
Wow.
Way to go, Roger Corman.
Which is
See,
such a funny, sly move.
I think I had always assumed that because it was public domain,
Yeah.
and that's like one of the reasons it got turned into a musical. Is like,
Yeah.
well, this is we're allowed to take this, but no, they assumed they didn't.
They went
Yeah.
in with the assumption. And I don't think he was that sleazy about it. I don't think he took a huge chunk of the
Oh,
profit
sure.
from it.
He was
like,
probably just smart.
yeah,
He's like,
but it's just
that was a
he's
business
man.
move.
He sees an opportunity, and I mean, if there's anything we know about Roger Corman, the man's a businessman. Apparently, he knows how to turn a quick dollar.
yeah, that's incredible. All right, well, we've talked enough about the movie. Let's talk about the movie.
Oh wait! I had one more thing to discuss, because I know we're here to talk about the movie, but I of course am obsessed with the musical, as is
Yeah,
Courtney.
same.
Like we all
Yeah,
love
yeah,
this.
yeah. Oh, same.
I mentioned
Yeah.
to you guys before the podcast. There's a connection to Miss Piggy.
Oh my god.
Just a little. I built this up. It's a lot. No, Derek thinks he has a Miss Piggy
I
impression
don't.
in him, and he
No,
does
I
not.
know I don't. All I've got is the
Now imagine the Muppets do Little Shop of Horrors.
Audrey.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Kermit's got to be. This would be a whole 50-minute discussion casting all of the characters.
We've already been here 40 minutes.
My biggest issue, real quick, about like doing a whole like this movie and everyone's a Muppet except this one human. There's only like 3 female Muppets, and that is always the struggle of like how do we cast these
We
characters?
need more female Muppets.
Anyway, so Miss Piggy, when they were coming up with the conception of like, okay, we're gonna take Little Shop, turn it to a stage musical, the most important element of that was like, I want the plant to be a big important thing in this, but the way it is presented in the movie is not incredibly interesting. It's got that annoying voice. They're like, we need it to be more entertaining, bigger, more captivating.
Did they
And
have it Miss Piggy at one
the
point?
inspiration behind that was like, we want it to be a puppet, and what was successful at the time was the Muppets. And they're like, you know who's a successful big personality puppet is Miss Piggy. So that was their biggest idea behind like making the plant have such a presence and personality in the show, was the character of Miss Piggy.
That's crazy.
Okay. See,
So
I
we
thought
have
you were
the
going to
Muppets
say
to
that there was
thank.
an iteration.
No.
Where it's like, feed me. Come on, doesn't have to be human.
Which is just such a weird connection because then you have Frank Oz, known Muppeteer, who is then directing the 1983 version of the movie.
I can't do Miss Piggy to save my life.
You cannot, but I love every attempt at it.
I'm a pretty decent voice actor, but every time I try to do Miss Piggy, I want to quit.
You just want to throw it all away.
It's
Done
not
with
worth
this.
it. Don't throw it away. All right.
So yeah, movie.
Yeah, movie. Well, I mean, that's basically it. Rotten Tomatoes. This is the highest episode we've ever done.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of
Not because of weed, but because of
not because of weed.
This is the highest Rotten Tomato score we've ever watched on this podcast, other than Alien, but that was a different situation.
That's for a goof. But yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to present
it's great.
itself.
It's great.
Kortney and I are in a production of Little Shop of Horrors, and we love talking about these movies and the musical, so why not?
I was just like, hey, why don't we just
Do it.
watch
It's
the
a fantastic
the
idea.
oldest one?
Yeah.
In my opinion, this critic score is a little high.
And what well,
I would
do
agree.
you have the audience consensus, though?
I do. So the critic score is at 88, and the audience is at 55. 88 it's pretty giving.
I was
Actually-
like, 88 is very forgiving
Yes.
for that. I didn't think
Which
that
is
it was
surprising
that high.
from the critics, too. Critics are typically the ones,
Because-
especially in horror settings, they're the ones who are a little more critical of these things.
I guess it's also a product of its time then.
That's fair.
Well, and how they figure out these scores for these old movies is they have a team that actually goes and finds reviews of movies from those times, and they bring it forward, and they decide what like a score would have been depending on how positive or negative it was. I don't know. It's probably all AI now, unfortunately. But back when Rotten Tomatoes was like exploding, they made a big deal about
Right.
going back and checking the old movies.
which is neat.
I love that they did that. But yeah, so they have 17 reviews on here, and 88% of them were positive, so good for them.
Wild.
And then you're looking at a 3.2 on Letterboxd and an IMDb score of 6.2. And as we discussed, this movie did have a really small budget, but it had a $28,000 budget, which equates to about $300,000 today. So
Which is like a lot, but still small by movie standards.
yeah, small by movie standards, but more than I expected.
More than
and
I
think
thought.
I do. We kind of talked about this. I think that most of that went to the plant.
Yeah.
it had to have gone.
Yeah, the construction of there are 3 or 4 different iterations of the plant because it gets bigger as the show progresses, right?
It
yeah,
gets bigger.
I think they had at least 5 pods.
Because you
Whereas-
think it's at its biggest, and they keep adding and getting
Yeah,
bigger
I'm
and
like,
bigger.
whoa, that's a lot of paper mache.
Which is fun. It is cool though.
So many trees.
All the trees.
People are
all
worried
the
about these
trees.
people. I'm worried about the trees.
I know. I love that there were like little teeny like ferns in them.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
cute. It's cool design. It's like a decent monster for a 1960s movie.
Oh, and I was living for the paper mache faces.
Oh yeah, those.
I
are...
was dying because they didn't look like any of the people
No, they
that
didn't.
had died.
And they
I was unconvinced.
they showed him so quickly as in like a way of being like,
They had
don't
to
look at that.
they had to validate themselves of knowing like, oh my gosh, it's this person by having us
them.
look at the people who didn't die.
It doesn't look like them. Can't you tell? It's enough. And the cops are like, "Yep, that's them.
That's
Yep.
them.
Okay,
That's it. Case closed."
I'm convinced.
Well, those cops are stupid. So, all right. Did you guys have like a general expectation going into this? Like mine was that I was gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
It was just like, I thought I was gonna have a great time.
That's wonderful.
Really?
Yeah.
This is how I felt.
Oh, I mean, I sense foreshadowing with that expectation. But I think before I had seen it initially, I definitely expected it to be like more of a straightforward horror film.
Yeah, that's
I had always assumed that it was like kind of more of an earnest attempt at being a horror film, and this is
Absolutely.
pretty much a straight up comedy.
oh yeah.
Which I mean, I think it's a good comedy.
Yeah.
But that is what before I had seen it, I had always
Yeah.
expected it to be a schlocky B movie in the way you expect a schlocky B movie to be. Or
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely was expecting it to have a little bit more of what I thought was the source material, which was
Yeah.
the Frank Oz version.
Absolutely.
When I had first watched it,
course, of
I was like,
course.
"Oh, okay. There's going to be lots of adjacent things here." There were not.
No, yeah.
That we're not.
Howard
I was-
Ashman really took some liberties when
He
deciding
took
that
a
this
lot
is a
of
musical
liberties
instead.
with this show. I wasn't
kinda needed
expecting.
to.
And I'm just like, I wasn't expecting so much of the cast to thin in the Frank Oz.
Yeah, in the
And-
musical.
In the musical, I was
Yeah,
like,
there are a
oh,
couple
this was
characters
actually
that
the
are cut
original
from
one.
it.
The
Yeah.
original one was more people.
Yeah, because in the musical version of it, like Seymour is an orphan, and that's a whole plot point of the show. But in this movie, he has a mother.
He does have
and
a
she's-
mother.
She's like quite a character to like decide to cut from the show.
hypochondriac and
A hypochondriac mother.
As we go through like synopsising the movie, we should compare back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
some
see
of those
like what
things.
is missing.
Yeah, well, and I think the other thing that I was primarily looking for, I think, an expectation of mine was Seymour being more convinced about having to feed this plant.
Oh, okay.
I did not feel like he was even convinced in the slightest. He just said, "This is a logical choice."
Yeah.
Sure, I guess he just keeps
Sure.
finding
He
he
himself
kind
in these
of
circumstances.
bumbles his way into killing people.
He
in
really
this one.
does. It's
All
not.
over
It's
the
not like
place.
a question of morality and what you're doing, and
It's
you
not
know.
as much of like a Faustian tale as the musical becomes, like his deal with the devil kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah, it's more
exactly.
like a Looney Tunes thing where he just like
yeah.
accidentally kills people and then he happens to
Might
have them,
as
so
just
it might as
shrug
well.
towards the camera.
That's
oh,
the
well.
I mean, he basically does at the end of the movie.
them's the breaks. Them's the breaks.
When I was approaching this movie for the first time, I was really expecting it to be one of those where like I love the musical version of this, and it's going to be one of those where I'm like, it might not be the best movie, not like the best watch, but I will like respect it for what it has spawned and created as far as the musical, the movie, all of those kinds of
yeah,
things
it's
that I do
iconic.
love. So one of those where it's like, it's not fantastic, but like it has my respect because of what it became, you
Right.
know?
For sure.
Do we want to discuss back and forth our formal
Yeah,
expectations?
let's get through
here?
our expectations real quick.
My first one just said, like we've already talked about, I was expecting several differences between the musical and the movie version of it.
That's
Yeah.
my first expectation. as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah.
I said some iconic characters that will be missed in the musical, like the mother, like the man in the flower shop that we will discuss, who I adore.
I was expecting a fun puppet, like a fun, gross, stupid-looking puppet.
Yeah.
You got a stupid looking puppet.
You got a stupid looking one for sure. I said it was going to be funnier than it has any right to be when I realized I'm like, oh, this is a horror comedy. I feel like it's going to be one of those, but I feel like it was going to be one of those that's like very dry with its comedy. It's not like yuck, yuck, yuck kind of funny.
Oh yeah, very 60s coded.
Absolutely.
I was right there with you, Nick. I genuinely, until the movie started, thought this was a serious, earnest attempt at a horror movie. I was very caught off guard by the slapstick
But being pretty
nature
funny,
of
actually.
the movie.
There wasn't even a drop of blood.
Nope. My expectation was serious tones that come off funny. I expected it to be funny because it's 2025.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought it was going to be...
that's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You realizing her not a drop of blood joke because it's a dry movie. Everyone give Courtney the credit for it.
I'm validated now.
I said it was going to be schlocky in all the best ways, like you love a good B horror movie to be.
A wild plot that feels 1960. If you know what I mean? Like everything from the 60s just had such a crazy
Just what
plot.
you expect from it.
Random was funny.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're kind of tired of random is
That's
funny.
fair.
It can still work,
Yeah,
but like,
of course.
But then it was like, oh, this is gonna be wild. Everyone, no one's gonna know.
No one's going to know. And then my last expectation just said it was going to just have ridiculous plot devices. I'm like, there's no way they can make this story make sense. How and why and when and where.
And that's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what we got.
My final,
Expectations were met.
yes. My final expectation was vaguely reminiscent characters that we can kind of pick and choose where they ended up in the musical. I was expecting
okay.
to see characters that are like kind of similar. I expected the plot to be just completely different. From the musical. So.
But yeah, if that's that, I think it's time to start discussing the movie The Little Shop of Horrors from 1960.
Don't you mean that episode of Dragnet?
Oh, that's right. Because we start with like heavily into the vibe of like a cop procedural kind of story where it's like, yeah, Skid Row, this is my beat. I run the streets around this part of town. Like it's like this cartoon drawing panning over of Skid Row and this cop's voice talking over it. And that's the tone they decide to set the movie with. And then completely abandon it until halfway through the movie, the cops finally arrive again.
Yeah,
but it's not about them trying to solve this case for most of the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
And then, okay, so this is a difference right off the bat, though.
Yeah.
With Seymour,
Yeah.
we could just talk about Seymour as a character.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
He's a bumbling, buffoonish, very Don Knotts-esque, stupid little scribbly,
Yeah, keep bullying Seymour, Derek. Lay into this
scumbag,
nerd.
little
It's not like
uneducated.
Isaac has to play Seymour.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking. That's why I'm looking him dead in the eyes. He's a snubbling little.
Yeah, he's a total
nerdy
loser, and I hate him
guy.
so much.
Isaac, change everything that you've done for the past 2 months.
I can't. It's all going out the window.
Yeah, you got to be more like this guy. Do you trip over any chairs?
He falls face first.
Oh, nice.
I sure do, actually.
He does.
No joke.
He does
And
do
I
some
was
great
really-
pratfalls in this.
Well, yeah, but like Isaac also is doing.
Oh, you're talking about real.
I
Isaac
got real
does.
bruises on my body.
Oh,
you
I-
do.
yeah, no,
But yeah,
I
You're just doing
remember-
real falling.
In
Yeah,
real
so,
life.
so
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to do something before the show opens
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't really want you to die.
Sure.
Maybe just watch this movie a few more times to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
how to fake fall.
Figure it out.
Because this
just step
guy-
into every bucket, every chair that is ever set in front of me.
Yeah.
This man can't stop falling.
Sometimes he has to produce his own thing to trip on. Like
Oh,
when,
absolutely.
Not to skip too far ahead, but like later in the movie, when he accidentally kills someone, one of the people he accidentally kills, he tries to go and save him with a bucket, and I don't know why he thinks the bucket's going to do,
It's, like,
but the
full
main
of
thing the
dirt?
bucket's
I don't
for
know.
is so
Is it
he
full
can
of
drop it
water?
and fall
I
on
don't
it
know.
because there wasn't
The man
anything to fall on
wasn't
yet.
fire.
And I guess the guy was drunk.
Yeah, like it doesn't.
Oh,
make
he's
any-
gonna need this bucket.
But I also love there's a bit later in the movie where he's in a bit of a trance, and we'll talk about why he's in a trance. But he like walks completely over a trash can and then gets scared and turns around, and on the way back he trips over the trash can. Like he fully just completely steps over it, no problem, and then trips. later.
honestly, comedy genius. Like if you're really thinking about what comedy is, and it's definitely people falling down.
Yeah.
and like.
I mean, they literally have a banana peel slip.
They
moment.
do have a banana
So,
peel slip.
The
was
woman of the
crazy.
night just drops a banana peel for him to trip over.
And then the banana disappears.
And then the banana disappeared.
The case
It was
of the
supposed
missing
to be an
banana peel.
innuendo, and then it changed.
And it completely went away.
but it still was an innuendo. Let's be real.
But yeah, so like Seymour in this movie is like I think the musical makes him a bit more of like he's cute. There's an endearing property of him. In
Absolutely.
the movie, he's a bit of a pain.
He's
like,
awful.
Not that
He's not a
lovable.
botanist.
No,
He's
he
not a
sucks.
botanist in the
He
movie.
sucks at his
In
job.
the original movie, he's not a botanist at all. He is like just some Joe that works at the shop. Whereas like musical Seymour, he is very, very much like
passionate.
he's passionate about plants. He's like he's got plant autism.
He's the passionate,
just
plant
like
eater.
Plantism.
plantism, just like how people have dinosaur ones,
Yeah, exactly.
airplanes,
That's his
trains.
thing. That's his special interest.
Yeah, that
But
was his special interest.
But
This
speaking
one,
of
no.
speaking of passionate plant eaters, can we talk about? I know there are more important characters that are in all iterations of this, but there's one character that we just have to talk about because he's my favorite part of the entire movie.
Are you talking about the plant?
Dick Miller as Mr. Yellow Vest, I think is his name.
No, it's a Burson Fouch, please.
No. Is he Fouch? Oh, that's right. Why does he call him Yellow Vest?
Because he's wearing a yellow vest, but the movie was in black,
Black and white. So how would we even know?
That doesn't help us visually.
Isaac was seeing colors,
That's
everybody.
so silly. You guys watched the black and white movie? Or you
Were
sure?
you on the green?
I was having green thoughts. Green
Yeah.
thoughts and thoughts of a yellow vest.
I agree. The first time I had seen this, that was like the takeaway for me was where is Dick Miller's character in the musical? How could they cut the best character in this movie?
Because
They
they're-
didn't technically cut it. They just really, really shrunk it.
They just got rid of the best part of his character.
Yeah.
And that's that he is a regular at this shop, or at least becomes a regular. He comes in and requests a bouquet of flowers and then just fucking starts eating the flowers.
Yep.
Just full on munching into them.
I don't understand why you think that's funny.
It's so great.
It's awesome.
It's so cool.
It is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. To walk into a flower shop and be like, "Hey, I need your best. What is it? Chrysanthemums or something?
Something like that.
Like, I don't know." And then just like take a bite out of it. He pulls out salt. My man
That's
starts.
the best part.
He's got his
Out
little
of his
salt shaker.
coat pocket. Pulls out a little, just salts them, eats
That
them.
would be the best acting choice for somebody to do for the musical.
It's so. I would love.
We gotta
for-
tell Brock.
We gotta tell somebody.
We
yeah.
got to tell Brock and Mish.
Time to start eating plants.
Yeah, I
Eating
was like, you
flowers.
guys, you're
not
playing
explain
this
it.
customer for just a little bit. Just have a small bit
Yes.
while you're leaving
Yeah.
the shop, you take out a thing of salt, you pull off one of the things off the bouquet,
And it's gonna be exactly like what happened with me in this movie. Everyone's gonna talk about that. Do you remember Little Shop of Horrors? Yeah, that guy ate a flower.
right?
That's all I can think of when I think about this movie.
Well, the best part about it is that he's obviously a flower eating connoisseur,
Of course,
and
because he talks about going to other shops and his tastes on them. It's like, oh, these shops, you lose the good food.
He's shopping
taste.
small businesses.
Yeah,
He's supporting small businesses.
Yeah, and we love him for that. Thank you, Fouch.
Gosh, he's the best. But he then, like, he's horny for flowers. For the
little
rest
bit
of
he
the movie. He stands there and is just, like, stroking his flower while he's watching
All the time, and the entire time he's thinking, like, every time he's in the same scene as Audrey Jr., the big plant, he's like trying to break down how he can eat.
Literally
this
what I
thing.
yeah, I was gonna say. It's like eating an elephant one bite at a time, right? He's like, how do I? Where
He
do I
was
even
he wasn't
start?
just eating plants. He was also eating Audrey Jr. with his eyes.
Yes, no, exactly.
Absolutely is what he was doing.
Undressing, like peeling back those leaves with his eyes.
It was like if you've ever seen any of the Naked Gun movies, it's like when Leslie Nelson's character walks into a room. She had eyes that pierced like an antelope, and a body that was. He walks into the room and he sees a flower. She had petals that curved like Mount Vesuvius, and
What I love
pot
is
that-
like
yeah.
the big dick energy of him walking into the room. He is not trepidatious about his interests at all. He's like, I want flowers. I'm going to eat them right in front of people. He's not weird about it. He's like, you're weird if you think this is weird.
He almost plays the character like really suave and like
yeah,
very.
he's great.
He's just like he's a very
his story?
confident character.
He is very
confident.
confident in
He
eating
is
his
he is
flowers.
the least buffoonish character in the whole
Absolutely.
movie.
which makes him work so well.
Yes.
Especially next to the Seymour of this movie. That's literally his entire punchline is that I trip, fall down. Like that's
I'm
his
just a guy.
His entire. It's stupid. I'm sorry. I really hated
Two sides of the spectrum.
I hated Seymour.
I
in this
think,
movie
yeah, you had
so
some
much.
thoughts
Oh,
about
yeah.
Seymour.
Well, because I don't know. I've seen Little Shop so many times. It was also one of my first musicals growing up. I remember sitting in the old Hale Orem watching it with my parents, and it was one of the first musical experiences I ever had. And it
eye-opening, truly.
Oh yeah, the puppet. It as a kid, you see that thing, you're like, oh, that's real.
It's so cool.
That killed that guy. You know, like it's anyway. So like Seymour as a character is so great because there's like a lot of layers to him, like a flower. And then
I'm so weirdly nervous to perform as Seymour, like in a couple weeks, knowing that you have so many thoughts about the character.
don't worry about that.
I don't think you need to be nervous.
I also,
at all. You'll be fine.
I have also seen you act a lot.
That's
so
fair,
it
that's
doesn't. But anyway, Seymour in this movie was nothing like that. He's a bumbling buffoon who literally.
But again, not in a lovable way.
Not in a lovable way at all. And it's more
No.
like oh my God, I just want to slap you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then.
He's like a walking punchline, right? Like
Yes.
he's very much like he's
going
very
for-
one note. He's
yeah.
very just.
He's going for very Three Stooge-esque
Yes.
Yeah.
type
Yes.
of slapstick.
Yeah, I was thinking, or like the first time he walks onto the screen, he trips, and it immediately made me think of who is that guy who did all the silent movies who looked like Hitler?
Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh my God.
That's a very succinct explanation.
He
of
looks
that.
like Hitler. I mean,
That's true.
It does suck that like was Hitler not a thing that happened? Do you think more people would have that kind of mustache? Like if Charlie
yeah.
Chaplin was the only one that we
Yeah.
had as an icon for that, would more people rock that?
I would be having one now. I'm sorry, I had to talk like Mushnick real quick. Anyway, I think my rant about Seymour is basically over. But the point is, I could see what they were doing when they put him in the movie like this. They wanted to make him lovable. They did, but the actor just didn't give me anything other than trip, fall down, accidentally put body implant.
Exactly. And the other thing that really annoyed me that they established somewhat later, but they didn't establish it right in the beginning, to me at least, was I was really annoyed by the fact that they did not set up Seymour as being in love with Audrey right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well,
It was kind of like happenstance when that becomes a part of the plot. It's so
Yeah.
weird
He
when
just
it
sort of
starts.
assumes she's not interested because he just like doesn't think about that.
No.
And then the moment that she's like kind of in close proximity to him,
She just kisses him.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you like kissing me? Oh, can we be girlfriend? Like, it's just kind of like, that's like
Pretty
about
girl
as
kiss
much.
me.
That dialogue
goes into it.
so much.
Oh my God, it was
He's like,
horrible.
Audrey, she kisses him out of like fascination with this great plant he's made, right? And
Yep.
he's like, Audrey, you don't need to kiss me. She goes, why not? You don't like kissing me. Well, sure, I like kissing you. Really? You want to kiss again? Like, that's what they say.
That was verbatim.
It's like two children
All right.
talking to each other.
They are like children talking to each other. But yeah, I hated the fact that they did not establish something like that early, and then all of a sudden it's we're on a date.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, he hasn't proposed to me yet.
To be fair, they do set up early. The only hint of it you really get is early on. He does name Audrey Jr., and
that's true. The plant is named after her.
And I
he's
feel
kind
like
of nervous about.
I
saying
feel like
that.
maybe the reason why he does that in this version is probably because she believes in him that he can do a really good job at his job.
Because she's the one that's always sticking up for him.
She is a support system, but I don't think it's in the way of Seymour thinking that like, oh, I'm in love with her. But no, just somebody who's important to him because she supports him, you know? I would think that that's the reason why he named it Audrey
Gotta
Jr.
be, right?
Yeah.
Because love was not even on the mind for that.
But yeah, like leading up to that, we have Mushnik, who's his boss of this flower shop where they work at.
Yeah, we haven't really set the scene at all.
I know. I forget. Like they're like we're talking as people who are all very, very familiar with Little Shop.
that's what I was trying to say.
I guess we
too.
should set the scene a little bit more.
So you have this plant show up on Skid Row. That's Mushnik's flower shop, run by Mushnik himself.
Gravis Mushnik.
Gravis is such a bonkers name.
I kind of love it.
It's sick as hell, but it sounds like an Elden Ring boss.
I was like, is he
Gravis
Jewish in this
Mushnik.
production?
I
Or
think-
is he
yes,
Jewish in
yes,
this movie? Okay.
yes.
Because for some reason he brought up Arabic at some point in the movie, and I was like,
there's a
he
lot
Arabic?
going
It
on.
actually. One of the things they talked about is that some of the people on the production team were Jewish, and I think the guy, whoever wrote it was as well. And
Howard
he
Ashman was also.
Yeah, they all wanted it to be like a Jewish comedy. That was
Okay.
like the idea.
That's why, like,
behind it.
Mrs. Shiva is a character.
Yep.
Even
Oh my
even
God, I love
Seymour's
Mrs.
last
Shiva.
name, Seymour Krelboyne. You know,
Yeah.
like it's all
and the
Jewish
way
in nature.
the way that they talk is all very
yeah.
very intermingled. Anyway, so he owns this little shop on Skid Row. He has his little peon, stupid, sniveling little bitch boy Seymour.
Derek fucking hates Seymour so
He
much.
just railed into Seymour.
God, I
We
hate
get
my
it.
stupid little piss boy. God, he's so stupid.
I like Seymour Krelborn. I don't like Seymour Krelboind.
Quirlboined.
Is how you spell his
It is
name.
kind of funny because there's not apparently, as far as I read, there's not like a formal like end credits type like sequence with the characters' names in it. So there's been a lot of debate about how his last name is actually spelled.
Krelboind.
Because it's like
Krelboyne.
Krelborn, like Krelborn, but then Krelboyne, Boin, Krelboind with a D at the end. Like there's several different iterations of it.
I spell it Krelboind. Oh, no, I
depends on the
twip over garbage
pronunciation.
can.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
But so Seymour works at the shop with him. Who else works there?
Then you also got Audrey. I don't know why I went British, but she's there. Audrey Fulquard, which, you know,
She has
Sounds a
weird-
lot like Farquaad.
Yeah, that's what
sounds
I
a
thought,
lot
too.
like Farquaad.
Which we all know is just a way to call that man a fuckwad. That's how it is. That's why they call him
That
fuckwad.
was one of those jokes
because
that did not
Oh
even
my
register to
God.
me until
God.
way later.
I've never even.
Yep. This is like
I
Subway
did.
all over again.
Oh my God, Fuckwad.
Oh my God.
But you're right. Her last name does sound a lot like
It should be
Farquaad.
Seymour Fuckwad.
If they
When
got
they-
married,
when they get married, he'll take
if
her
they got
last
married
name.
and they took her name instead of his,
He wouldn't know how to give her his name. She'd be like, "Oh, you want to
I
take
don't
my
know how
name?
to do that, Audrey.
Oh,
know
Audrey,
how
you
to
want to
do-
get married? Okay, I'll take your name." I'm sorry, he's such a little.
They do talk about marriage in this after their first date.
they
so
do.
With
they were on their way until she thought that he was saying he was hungry.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So anyway,
The characters in this movie are all so dramatic, so easily.
oh God. All right, so we got to
We're
set the
still
scene.
setting the scene.
We got to. well,
unfortunately.
we're kind of jumping ahead
What
in the
a
plot.
movie.
I mean, really though, when I said this earlier, it's an hour and 10 minutes, but nothing really happens in this movie. There's a lot that happens in this movie, but it happens. It's like you record audio and then you stretch it really thin, and then you add a chase scene at the end. This is so. Anyway, you got this plant shop,
Yep.
right? Seymour has this plant that he got from some Japanese guy at some garden. That's literally all the description we get about the plant.
Yes.
From like a cranberry farm. They were like weirdly specific about that.
And please explain how he gets the plant in the musical because it's way better.
Well, I mean, obviously you get the wonderful segment of Dadu.
Great song.
exactly.
Right, exactly. Very, very, very wonderful. And they switched it to it's a Chinese man
who sold it to him.
But you're the one who says it. I'm just the one that's singing the song. I don't even remember what the lyrics are for you.
Well, basically, like the gist of it is he was walking. I would just say I was about to start just doing the
Dadu.
lyrics of the song. I was walking in the wholesale flower district that day. No, but he's walking through a wholesale flower district, and then there's an eclipse. This is something that's not in the music.
That's what I was looking for.
There's this total eclipse of the sun. They say
Total
Eclipse of the sun.
it got very dark, and amidst that, there's alien elements to this plant existing. So in the musical version, it's a bit more explicit that like this plant is otherworldly. It is not something. It is non-Euclidean. It does not exist here on Earth as we know it. But so yeah, there's a bit more of like an alien presence about the plant as it just shows up at this Chinese man's flower shop, and then he sells it to Seymour
His name
for
is
$1.95. Chang, that's right.
Right, because
He has a name. You say that line.
I say that one. I say Chang Dadu.
Chang Dadu.
Oh, that one has always stuck with me though.
Yeah.
Chang Dadu.
It's such a great.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it
so-
is. It's
God.
Chang
Howard,
Dadu.
Howard Ashman and Alan Menken did beautiful things with this musical. I could go into great lengths about
Anyway,
that.
so I just wanted to set the point
Yes.
that it's not alien in this movie. We
No.
are basically immediately told that
No,
it's
and the
just some
plant is over. The plant is over at his house.
Yeah, he's just. Oh,
It's at his house
so then
with
we
his
see,
mom.
We see the second character.
A character who is cut.
I feel like you want to tell me about his mother.
The hypochondriac mother.
Please tell me about Norma Bates.
I feel like that might have been a little pointed.
No. Listen, I just want to hear more from Nick. It has nothing to do with his relationship
No,
with
it's
his mother.
really funny.
That has nothing to do with me being OCD.
/ hypochondriac.
Oh yeah.
Did your mom ever, in one of your dates, give you a shot of cough syrup though?
No, but
Or put
for other
Epsom
shots
salts
of
in your food.
That's just awesome. Your mom sounds awesome.
she give me a
If you're listening to this,
shot
I
of
love
wine
you.
to go to the dentist once though.
She did.
Dang.
She did.
That is
Yeah.
weirdly
How old
on
were you?
brand.
10?
No, I wasn't 10, but I
21.
was like a teenager, and I was like really freaked out about going
it's
to the
because
dentist.
Nick does have OCD.
Okay.
If you don't know this about him,
Yeah, That's
great.
and he has a fear of the dentist.
Yeah.
Me too, dog.
But ironically enough, his favorite character in the musical is the
Is the
dentist.
dentist?
Yeah, it makes me feel seen, to know
Yeah.
that everybody else thinks dentists are like this as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, that's how
yeah.
all dentists are.
That's how
Yeah.
they're all masochists.
Yeah, and so
but
his mom
yes.
was like,
or no,
yes,
sadists, excuse me.
Yes, yes.
let's try to calm your nerves a little bit. I don't
some
have any
Grand
hard.
Marnier.
I don't have a thing of liquor in the cabinet right now. But I do have box wine.
I was just about to say, was it
Crazy
Fab? Was
Oh,
it-
yeah.
Franzia,
Classic
fruity
Franzia.
sangria
There
was
it is.
always in the house.
Love
this
it.
is me snapping
But
at
yeah, I
Franzia
adore
fruity
that.
sangria.
Seymour's mom is specifically this like bedridden hypochondriac who's
Bedridden, air quotes.
bedridden, quote unquote.
Drunk as hell.
She's constantly looking up new diseases, thinks she has all of them, and
Oh, my goiter's coming back.
my
I just
goiter's
know it.
coming back, and this and this and this, and so she's this. I don't know. It's just sort of another like comedy personality, basically.
Yeah.
She is hilarious.
It is
yeah.
funny. Yeah, the scenes are funny, and I love that. Like, later on when they incorporate the fact that like Seymour sets up. He says, "My mom's a great cook. We should go eat." And she just serves them cough syrup and like medicines and bowls
And
with
vitamins and-
like vitamins
Chow mein
sprinkled
with
on
some
top of
crazy
them.
stuff inside of
Yeah.
it.
And then like sulfur sprinkles on top.
Yeah, there's a sequence where I guess what you would consider like Seymour and Audrey's second date, because they do end up going on a few dates. He's eating a PB&J and is like so baffled by this thing. He's like, "Well, what does it do for you? It doesn't cure this illness
love
or
that
Yes,
something."
like everything that his mother has been been for him his entire life has been his form of normal.
Oh yeah.
Which is
He
why I
knows
think
nothing
his mother
different.
is poisoning him.
I think she's
Absolutely.
poisoning.
I think she literally has poisoned him
is
since
why-
he was a child.
That's why he is the way he is.
And that is why he is the way that he is. He can't even walk straight, maybe because his legs were underdeveloped or something.
And he's
This
always
all
wearing that
tracks.
scarf. What's underneath that scarf? I'm just saying, he walks a little weird. Is he actually Quasimodo? We don't know.
We don't know.
He is a little
verdict's
sniveling
still
little
out.
bitch boy. So. I actually like Quasimodo.
But basically,
a
we
lot.
can round out the plot pretty easily by finishing out by saying Seymour finds this plant, right? And he discovers through some means that it's like nothing works on making it grow because he's like, oh, it's a weird, interesting plant that could bring us business. But dang it, I'm such a stupid, dumb, baby piss idiot. I
hate him now too?
I'm just going along with you.
Thank you.
I can't figure out how to get it to grow. He eventually finds out, oh, it takes blood.
Yep.
And so it starts in small amounts. He feeds it little drops of blood from all his fingers, and then eventually, as it gets bigger, it starts to talk to him and demand, hey, I want to eat like people now. So then he starts to feed people to said plant, and that's where basically the rest of the plot happens.
But he
here.
doesn't even like get to the point of really knowing that it eats people.
No.
And there's no
He's not that smart.
There's
in
not
this.
any true indication that the plant is going to indicate to him, you need to feed me human remains
Yes.
in order to be able to have me grow.
And
Listen
can we
up,
just
kid. I
talk
need you to
about-
listen real closely. Look me in my eyes, right here, Seymour.
Okay. Oh, I'm not the plant. I'm sorry. I'll be Seymour. Okay.
See those people out there? Bring them to me. Nom nom nom. That's what we're gonna do now.
See, that's
okay?
what would normally happen.
Yeah.
But in this movie, we never even see him feed it water. Or,
No.
No, he just talks about. He's like, I've tried all this stuff and it just doesn't work.
He's a horrible botanist. Maybe he just
awful.
has like crazy good blood that
Probably
like
feeding it cough syrup or something.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's feeding it that weird special tonic that his mom loves that is 98% alcohol that she chugs half the bottle in like the rest of the scene.
She's
I
incredible.
guess the one thing that they did keep from the musical too is that he does stick himself with blood. The pot is
Yes.
closed.
Yep.
The pot is closed until he sticks himself with a safety
Yeah, he
pin.
pricks his finger,
That's right.
and then it opens up.
And then it opens up.
so he does put two and two together there. He's like, oh, I guess you
It
like
sniffed
this.
blood.
In this one,
Yeah.
it's more
Like a
like,
shark.
it's even more incidental because it just sort of opens every night.
It
is what
opens
he
at
says.
sunset every night.
Yeah.
Sunset, it opens every night.
He
And
says it so obviously too. He's like, "Oh, you're opening at sunset, just like you do every night." Like he says it like
he's
that.
he's gotta-
The
gotta help
dialogue
us.
is so
Maybe
just
that's where the change of the eclipse or something came
Yeah,
in. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
Or maybe it was just a better idea.
or the movie was written in 2 days or something.
they had no time to do this. Apparently, sorry to go back again on like why this movie was so rushed. Apparently, at the time they were about to change like laws and restrictions around films where after a certain point, like pretty soon after this movie was made, actually, they were changing it so going forward, all actors who worked on a movie got rights for products that they were a part of. And so this man working on like, trying to do it on as like as small a dollar as you possibly could. He's like, I need to make this movie now before I owe all of you fucks royalties.
And Jonathan Hayes lost his career because he played Seymour Krelboyne.
Krelboyne. Mushnick is his asshole boss. We didn't really talk much about him.
We don't really need to talk too much about
I
him.
thought he was great in this movie, though. He's a very entertaining actor in this movie.
He does do a good job. He's very sincere with his assholery.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it
he
only
does do
confirm-
the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say that I think that it only confirmed to me that I don't like Mushnick as a character, period.
He's kind of an ass.
He's kind of an ass. Like,
Well, and he
across the board.
manipulates Seymour.
Even across the board, I'm like, at this point, I feel like Mushnick should deserve what he gets. Do I think it's murder at this point? No. But, like, okay, maybe something not so great will happen to him, and I'm okay with that.
He just shits on Seymour the entire time. And it's
Not
not,
literally.
until... No, not literally shitting on Seymour, but... No, Seymour's a piss baby. We know that. He's not a shit baby.
Yeah, what were you going to say, hun?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I think the thing I like about Mushnick in this one is that he is very. He does have that like as you guys talked about, like the Jewish comedy energy.
Yeah.
Down
Yeah,
pat.
yeah,
Like
he
it's
really
very
does.
like he's
Yeah.
very fast. He's very.
And it's the words he says, too.
The words he says, like that, I think there is a really effective bit in this that worked for me really well, which is which becomes a whole plot, in or a whole subplot in the musical version, but it's basically a throwaway joke here where he, as soon as he starts to see a little bit of success come from this plant, he immediately just starts calling Seymour his son. He says, "You're my son now," and
Don't call me Mr. Mushnick. You call me Dad.
You call me Dad. And he literally just starts introducing Seymour to other people, random people coming in the store as, "This is my son. Excuse my son." And I think in the same scene,
It is.
It's the best part of that bit.
yeah,
right there.
it's a very good, classic comedy moment where the plant wilts. And Seymour says, "Dad, the plant is wilting," and he's like, "Who are you calling Dad?"
Like you, Mr. Daddy Me Crow Boy.
Immediately switches on him.
Like without missing a beat, he goes, "Who are you calling Dad?" Like he's like so disappointed. You're not my son anymore.
You're not my son anymore.
It's so
Don't
good.
you, Mr. Daddy Me Crow.
Daddy me crow.
That is like literally one of my favorite lines though in the show.
It's such a good one.
it's
We were
so
talking earlier, though. You were talking about how you're scared of the dentist, and that was one of your favorite characters. The dentist in this is hardly existent at all. I think the only reason it even exists is because Roger Corman had that office set from Bucket
Absolutely.
of Blood. So he's like, we got to find some
gotta find a way to
dentist,
put it
I guess,
in.
to put in this.
Well, it's crazy because literally in the just a next scene,
Yes.
Seymour is like, "Oh, my mouth hurts. I'm stupid bitch boy."
Happens for no reason.
And then he's like,
I
"I'm
have
going
a
to the
toothache."
dentist." Yeah. Oh God. Oh. And then
so
he
they goes to the dentist. Yeah.
And
kills him.
well, yeah, but how? How
They
does he kill the
they have a
dentist?
sword fight with
The dental
tools.
I feel like we should just leave it there because that's really how it feels.
Isaac, why don't you have a sword fight?
I should have a sword fight with the dentist.
Yeah. Why don't
Pull
you
up
have
one
a
of the
sword
tools.
fight?
Tick, 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 tick. It's the dumbest thing where I think the similarities between the two dentists between like the musical and the movie. In the movie, he is still kind of like, he does seem to enjoy inflicting pain on people. Like he is still a bit of a sadist, not quite to the extent that it's pushed in the musical version of it. But yeah, so
it's
he
so much better in the musical.
It's a lot better. I do really like.
Yeah, he has like
that
no
character.
connection to any of the other characters or any of the plot really.
No,
like
that's
he's just
another thing.
Yeah, he doesn't
He
even
just
have a
floats
connection
through
with
it.
Audrey.
No, because in the musical, he's Audrey's like shitty boyfriend, and like that's the situation she needs to get out of this abusive relationship with
And
the
for
dentist.
some reason, this movie decided to ship them with Mushnick and Audrey.
There's a scene where Mushnick and Audrey have dinner together, and it's like almost romantic, but not.
It kind of looked like daddy daughter to me.
It was strange.
I don't know. Nothing about that screamed romance.
That's-
but also,
that's good.
why were they at dinner?
No idea.
I don't know.
Exactly. I'm like, why?
Because if
Are,
it was like a work outing, well, I guess they kind of Mushnick doesn't love Seymour, so I guess that's why he didn't invite him. But-
in a way, it feels kind of like the musical is the second draft that never got to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
like these are all things that you probably would take. Like you would start seeing, okay, this character doesn't have any point. This doesn't,
Yeah.
and they actually, are able to look at that and condense it into a story that kind of flows better
Yeah.
and where everything connects to each other better. But in this, is written in I don't know how much time, but not very much time.
Not much time for sure. Pretty rushed.
So anyway, to keep condensing the story for those who actually have no idea what we're talking about, so Seymour he puts blood into the plant. The plant grows beautiful.
bigger.
People start showing up. They're like, "Oh, there's a beautiful, crazy plant in here. I want to buy all these other flowers."
It's
which
like suddenly it
even
brings
in
them
the musical
wild
is such
success.
a crazy. It's such a crazy thing. It's
People
like-
literally just see plants, they go, "Ooh, take all my money."
Which I do like the idea, and I've seen this theorized before, that the plant just has like literal like mystical powers, and it makes people want to be around it, which is why that happens. But anyway, so he feeds it his own blood,
Yep.
Seymour does, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm still hungry. Daddy, can I have food?" That's the plant. Because I don't like the plant's voice either. Apparently, I hated more about this movie than I realized.
we're like, yeah, this movie was pretty okay. It was pretty solid. Wait.
Wait.
Because he does. He just has like this stupid little sniffly, Daddy.
It is an obnoxious voice for sure.
That would have been better, actually.
I'm very glad they
think
changed the vibe for the musical.
Same.
I don't think it helps either that like the voice like obviously it's ADR'd, but like in the most obvious way possible with like it's like it feels
You can
like
feel the microphone.
like a joke or something that you do now where you just like bad ADR on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like
was
really
pretty good.
loud.
That was pretty close. That's almost identical. Yeah.
You think the little shop is your friend? I was born in it, molded by it.
Are you being Bane?
I'm being Bane because
I couldn't hear you because your mouth was over your hand.
That's fair. My mouth was over my hand.
We're gonna move on. So the next,
The plant needs more to feed it.
plant needs more to feed.
So, but like you mentioned earlier, Courtney, like Seymour does not know exactly that it's like, oh, I need to feed you people, body parts. That happens on accident after Seymour accidentally fucking kills a detective who we thought was a hobo.
Wait, he was a detective?
Is that the guy who was?
There's like two throwaway lines where the cops are discussking. Yeah, we lost one of our boys who was working on a case down at the train yard.
Oh, but he was out drinking.
Yeah,
in the train yard.
I don't know if he just
I
got
guess
too
I
into
didn't
character.
know if it was connected because they are also talking about some random kid who died, and we find out later that
that was what I was focused on, was the fact that they were like, them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
About this kid dying.
Kid dies. Them's the break.
Seymour's out because the plant's nagging him, being like, feed me. He's like, I'm gonna go for a walk. So he's going out for a walk to the train yard. He sees this perfectly placed bottle,
Gotta hit
and
it
he's
with
like,
a rock.
got it. I mean, as we all would. I would take a rock and throw it at that bottle for
Gotta hit
sure.
it with a rock.
Right.
And then he just takes this big stone, chucks it. Right as he throws it, this guy pops up like Muppet style underneath this wall that he was on the other side.
Honestly, hilarious.
So funny.
Genuinely hilarious.
And you
the
saw
fact
the rock bounce.
Yeah,
And
it
the
looks
rock
so
was-
styrofoam rock.
so styrofoam.
Okay, can we talk though? He gets hit in the head with a rock. That doesn't kill him. He
No.
stumbles and gets hit by
He's
a
like,
train.
whoa. He's
Yes.
falling for a while too,
Yes.
for one rock. That
But
hit
then
him.
you have a moment later where Seymour and the dentist are fighting with surgical tools because Seymour doesn't want to get his mouth worked on anymore because he's a sadist dentist. They start fighting with surgical tools. That's really all you need to know about that scene. And then they're doing their sword fight. He accidentally punches the dentist in the face and he dies. So you're telling me that Seymour's fist casually smacked
Is
into
Seymour
someone's face.
One Punch Man?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Because he killed that dentist with the same force that a train killed a detective.
Yes, because that's what happens to that guy at the train yard, right? Like he gets hit in the head, he stumbles around for a while. Seymour, like you mentioned earlier, gets like a bucket and tries to save him with a bucket for some reason.
Yeah,
Should've
I was
grabbed
like,
him up.
I don't
Just
even
for
know
a
what was in the
pratfall.
bucket.
No, yeah, but then then a train comes by and runs over him really quick. So that's how that guy dies. Which is how. This is another. Seymour's such a fucking idiot. Now I'm mad about Seymour too, thanks to Derek. He's not
Really easy to be
connected
mad
to
about
this
him.
death at all, besides throwing this rock. But,
But
there's
he
no
thinks
way.
that he is because he
Yeah.
witnessed it.
And so he takes the body, all the pieces of it, puts it in a sack, and then there's a funny scene of him going around town trying to find a place to get rid of it until he eventually ends up back at the shop, and then the plant's like, he's like, oh, I don't know what to do with all this, and the plant's like, food. He's like, oh, you can eat this stuff.
Can we also mention that, while he's trying to find a place to dispose of the body parts, yes, he's trying to find a trash can. He's trying to put it anywhere. He literally finds a hearse in
There's
front
already
of
a
a
body
funeral
in there.
home. And there's already a body inside of there.
So he's
and
like,
he
this
says,
hearse is
no.
filled
Do
already.
they
you know?
ever leave bodies overnight in a
In the
hearse?
hearse?
There's no way.
No.
I haven't heard of it.
That can't be the case. So
I'm
that was
like, I
Seymour's
don't even
first.
think anybody's embalmment can go that good.
No. So that was Seymour's first murder. Then his second murder is of the dentist when they're just having a little brawl with the dentist tools because he doesn't enjoy being at the dentist with the sadist dentist, right? He does kill him. And then the best thing he decides to do is to then impersonate the dentist because guess what? A star is born. A star walks into the shop. And who is that star?
Bill Murray.
Jack Nicholson. Close enough. That's a weird thing that happened where this character walks in. It's Jack Nicholson playing this patient who is super into being hurt and being in pain. So much so that he's in the lobby of the dentist office reading Pain
The
magazine.
Pain magazine. I forgot about that.
So
That was
stupid.
amazing.
But he doesn't exist in the musical version, but then they brought him back for the movie version, Frank Oz's version, where he's played then by Bill Murray, which is
Murray,
fun.
Yeah.
But Jack Nicholson is not in much of this movie.
He's literally just in this moment, and he goes in, sits at the chair. He's like, "Yeah, man, rip out all my teeth."
and Seymour fucking does it. He actually
just
goes
He's
starts
an
performing on
unlicensed
him.
person who pulled out this guy's teeth.
irresponsible
jail.
of this little piss baby, might I
I do
say.
like the idea that Seymour would be doing all these things even if the plant wasn't involved in the story at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because none of it is connected to the fact that he's trying to feed the plant.
No.
He just is doing these things.
He's
Not
just
even a
doing them and
little.
then happening to feed them to
He
the
just
plant.
happens to have a disposal for these bodies. He's
Exactly.
accruing out
He
of
would
nowhere.
be a murderer without the plant.
He's just an accidental serial killer. It's crazy.
So it's about now that, people are dead.
Yes.
People are disappearing.
Yes.
Mushnick
Notices
escapes
it.
from the date to go get money to pay the waitress. Because
See,
he's
you
a-
just called it a date. You said it was a daddy-daughter. Now you said date.
I mean, it
Daddy-daughter
could have been a
date.
daddy-daughter date.
Okay,
Daddy-daughter
okay,
date.
fair.
Please.
That's fair. That
Please.
is a term. You're right.
Please.
Sorry.
Anyway, he walks back into the flower shop and he sees Seymour feeding the plant. And he's like, oh my God, I need all the alcohol you can get. Ha ha, comedy alcoholism.
And it's so funny because he thinks for a second about turning him in, and then he's like, but I am making money.
money.
And so because in the musical version of the show, he is not aware of the fact that Seymour is killing and feeding people to the plant, right? And this one, fully aware of that, and still is like, I'm just not gonna get involved. It's fine.
Well, and then in a couple later scenes, Mushnick is like, I'm going to sit here and watch the plant so that you don't kill anybody else.
Yes.
And during this scene, a burglar
A
breaks
robber
in.
shows
Yep.
up.
And
And then he kills him.
Yeah.
Because he is getting robbed and he's like, oh, all the money is in the plant.
Pretty smart.
Which is fun.
Which is fun because the musical version of the show, Mushnick only theorizes that Seymour is the connection with these
and
murders.
there's enough evidence there for it to be, but he still does kind of want to protect him because he's like, I'm making a lot of money, so I
and
need
so
to.
and then they still keep the bit of the money is inside the plant.
Yes, because in the musical, Seymour does willingly feed Mushnick to the plant. Because in the movie, Mushnick lives till the end of it, right? But in the musical, Mushnick does die in the same exact fashion of this robber, where he's like, oh, the money is inside the plant. Yep, just right there. And then crunch, you're dead.
Yep. Also, I have to mention, if you get a chance to see our show, I think this is the first time I've seen the musical version where Mushnick's death has actually made me viscerally ill.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
They have
There's
added
just some sounds
They
that
have
happen.
added some sound cues with Mushnick dying that are crunchy,
Oh.
Yeah.
and it made my stomach wrench the
It's
first time I
gnarly.
heard
it's
it.
pretty nasty.
It's crazy.
So it's more like Shmushnick now.
Yo,
Good. I like that.
You can have it.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
You can have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? I'll take it.
Thank
I'll
you.
all
yeah,
credit's
so
mine.
there's another plug for the show.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
open.
I was like, Mushnick totally is part of these murders, but he actually deliberately did it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Seymour this entire time has been only accidentally killing people and
That's
happens to
true.
be disposing of
all
the bodies.
All of the murders on Seymour's behalf are accidents. Mushnick is the only actual cold-blooded killer of the movie.
Well, I mean, kind of. He does have a gun pointed at him.
yeah.
And the guy's
That's
like
fair.
trying to kill him.
Yeah. It is in a sense self-defense.
It's murder in the self-defense.
yeah.
It's manslaughter.
He would rather kill a guy than get rid of the money, though. He had the choice to just let the guy take the
he
money.
also said that there wasn't a lot of money.
Fair.
He only had $30 in the cash register.
That was like $80,000 back then.
Back in the day, that's a lot of money.
I do think it's kind of interesting how the success in this movie is really, really mild
Yes.
as well. Like the biggest thing they get, I guess, is the Rose Bowl flower
Yes.
deal with these two students who come in with apparently $2,000
$2,000
of money to spend. We don't have any money except $2,000.
That's the funniest. Yeah. That's literally something they say, oh, we don't have any money except $2,000
And those
for
are
flowers.
supposed to be our urchins.
Yes, I was going to say, Kortney, please, there is something that is blaringly non-existent in this movie that is then added into the musical version of it. The urchins, doo-wop characters that are known and loved in the musical don't exist in this movie.
No,
They're
they do
basically, they're in their conception starts right here with these two characters who basically become like cheerleaders of
they,
Seymour.
though?
That's what they said. Is kind of like that they didn't like those characters and they were turned into what are the urchins. And how would you describe the urchins of the musical?
Of the musical, they are the narrators of this story.
Oh, yeah, like a Greek chorus.
They are
almost.
100% a Greek chorus. How our director has now changed that for ourselves right now is it's very much a fates-driven
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
scenario
Fun,
Super cool.
and everything because you're always having an urchin watching the show at any given
that's
time.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're always there. They're always watching. They're always in the know. They know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're like the soul of Skid Row, basically.
I'm
right?
convinced that in the show version, in the musical version, they are also a contributing force to Seymour feeding this plant at one point and everything. It's why we also have the Meek shall inherit as well, too, is because they are pushing him into what he is thinking the success is.
Fun.
And everything. But these characters that were in the movie we just watched are high schoolers, just like the urchins are. The movie version, not so much on high school ends and stuff. They are very much giving Supremes, Dynamites, all of the above in the movie. But then they have a small moment where they're looking like high schoolers.
Yeah.
But in the movie we just watched, they are 100% high schoolers. They're two white girls.
Two white girls.
Two white girls.
Preppy cheerleader type.
Very different from the musical.
Very, very different. They're preppy. They're definitely like on the cheerleading aspect. But they do have a lot of the same similar lines as the urchins do in the show.
Which is kind of cool.
And everything, which is it's this screaming, excited for Seymour having his moment things and stuff and becoming people who are basically showing him that he's doing something great by having this plant be here.
Yeah.
You know, and that he's having a lot of success and everything.
Yeah.
And if he's this underdog type of character, these are his hype girls, like 100%. Wow. And in some ways, the urchins in the musical are also Seymour's hype man.
Oh, for sure.
The entire time. You know, they're rooting for him in the long run.
Which is kind of funny because often in the musical version of it, they like away from him, kind of like diss on him a lot about how he's like not the cutest. He's kind of, you know, like a schlubby, like silly guy. But they do often to his face, like push him to do these things. Like they do support him, which does lead to, you know, the rest of the story and
that's
the
why
bad
I think the
things that
turning
happen.
point. That's why I think the turning point for the urchins specifically is when supper time happens.
Yeah.
Because they were on Seymour's side the whole entire time. And now the plant's even more successful. And because the plant got more successful, they got successful.
They get successful. They are also benefiting from this.
Yeah.
And that's the point in time where the urchins are no longer on the stoop.
Yeah.
Because they have hustled everybody already.
That's fair. Dang, that's good stuff.
That's good.
Come
I
check
like
out
that.
Little Shop.
Please go and see Little Shop.
Another thing that I really love about the creation of the urchins, this trio now rather than this duo in the musical version of it, is Howard Ashman knew what the streets of a town like Skid Row were actually like. He like grew up in actual places that were like that. And one thing that was incredibly important to him, he's like, hey, it's not all white guys living on this stoop, you know, like that's not what it actually looks like. So it was actually very important to him, like the actual representation of different ethnicities, because like, you know, as they should be played, like, you know, typically the three urchins are black women, right?
Yes.
And so like he's like, it's important to have this representation and realism in our world here, right? And so I enjoy that very much about their creation of those characters. I mean, like a decent amount of the original cast were people of color, right? Because you have the three urchins, and then the voice of the plant was also a black man.
Yep.
And it's a cast of like 8 people, so like it's like half the cast.
Yeah, and I think the crazy part too about the movie the movie version we just watched too was these two white girls walked in with $2,000 on Skid Row.
Did we talk about the fact that in 1960, that's the equivalent of like $28,000 today?
dude.
Like that's nuts.
And I'm like, Skid
watched
Row
this
is
on
supposed
a
to be this rundown
For a school
place.
float.
How are they not getting jumped? How did they not get jumped yet?
It's because they tell him this is actually just for flowers, though.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You can't spend this
miss.
on anything else.
Sorry, young woman in the
It's actually
60s.
it's like fake money.
you.
They hand in like $2,000 of like money that's got like flowers where it should have George Washington on it. This is our flower
It's our
money.
flower money. You can't actually spend it on anything
It's
else.
like, it doesn't work.
But like, how did these girls not get jumped?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's nuts. But
All right.
so yeah, what further happens in this story? I'm sorry. We've done a lot of talking about the musical.
No, well, we've talked through the movie. The crazy
Listen, we're
thing
talking
is,
about 3 separate iterations of
There's
this.
a lot at once.
Yeah.
You've unfortunately put me in with my special interest.
Hi, this is my special interest too.
I mean, really, what we can mainly just kind of skip forward to the end here because.
But can we please talk about?
No, we got to talk about some of these.
Can we
moments.
talk about the woman of the night that
skip it.
dies?
That's the end. That's skip
the woman of the night is the end?
No, I don't mean like the end. I mean like the third act. Right?
sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so Seymour is like, I'm done feeding you. And Plante's like, oh, do you sure, baby?
Because there's a bit of a conversation about how like that's a
What
lot
was
better.
that again?
One more
Oh,
take.
do you sure, baby? Yeah, I actually auditioned for Audrey
Yeah, you
too,
should
and
be
that
the
was
voice
my
of Audrey,
audition. Feed me, Seymour.
But what?
I did not.
Shoot, where was I going? Where was I going with this?
He tells the plant that he doesn't want to
Yes.
feed it anymore.
So there is something that is true about Venus flytraps because he compares it to. Oh shoot! I just barely
It's a cross
Googled
between
this.
a Venus flytrap and something else.
and a. I literally just barely looked it up and it's already gone from my
5
search history.
seconds.
I can't remember what it is, but it's a cross between a Venus flytrap and something else. Venus flytraps, if you look into them, they usually only feed on like a fly only about like 3 or 4 times before like it's done needing that much nutrient before it won't get any bigger after that. So that's something he says. There's about 4 or 5 different iterations of how big this plant gets. So he tells Mushnik that. He's like, oh, I think it only needs to eat about 4 or 5 times.
I thought he was a stupid little piss boy idiot who didn't know anything about plants.
He knows the occasional
But he
thing
knows
about
this?
it. No idea. When
he
he does
apparently
this
read
research.
about them.
Yeah.
He apparently decided that was what he was going to read about.
Yeah.
He remembered one thing from botany school.
But it should be done feeding things. So he tells the plant, you don't need any more feedings. Then the wildest thing happens that is not in any further iterations of Little Shop of Horrors. The plant tells him to shut his eyes and then open them again, and suddenly he's under its hypnotic spell to the
Suddenly
point...
Seymour.
Suddenly Seymour is
Suddenly
under
Seymour.
a hypnotized spell to the point where he starts calling the plant master. Like it's fucking
Like an
Dracula
Igor.
or like an Igor kind of situation. And then he says, go get me more food. So then in a catatonic state, he just walks out of the store and tries to find him more food. That doesn't exist in any other iteration of the plant.
I'm like,
Thank God.
I'm like, maybe it's the. Have you guys heard the theory that Seymour is actually like just hallucinating the entire time to
fun.
justify the murders?
It's been limbo. The whole Skid Row is limbo.
Yeah, no, there is a theory. There is a theory out there that Seymour is
It's just
around.
all crazy
It
and it's
is
in his
all
head.
in his head.
And his mom's
yeah.
poisoning him, so he's a little more susceptible.
exactly. But yeah. I
Do you not like that theory?
no. I love that theory actually because it makes it all the more terrifying.
Yeah.
If that was the case,
It feels more American Psycho.
it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It
Instead
does
of just Psycho.
exactly. It gives it like a little bit.
Norman.
It would take away the comedic aspect
Yeah.
of
Oh, for sure.
of this
Yeah, it would
because
just
you
be
do
a
have
horror
to
at that point.
yeah, because you do have to think about the ridiculousness of a man eating talking plant, right?
I don't know.
I
Sounds
think
pretty
the
badass to me.
Pasadena Playhouse kind of version. I mean, if you're not familiar, there's been many productions of the
Oh, yeah.
musical, but the one that was done at. Am I thinking of the
Yeah,
right?
the Pasadena Playhouse one.
The Pasadena Playhouse one was notable for taking a more serious tone.
Yes.
And I got the impression based on the way that they portray the plant there that is the reading that they're trying to like put forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool.
That they are trying to make this actually scary.
Yeah. I like that. I think that comedy works best horror works best when it has a little bit of comedy in
Yeah.
it, right? And so I do think that making this an actually scary thing. Like, why don't we get someone like Jordan Peele or somebody, or even, who's perfect for it, is weapons director Zach Cregger.
Zach Cregger.
Oh, yeah.
I think if he got behind a Little Shop of Horrors, like no musical,
Just
you
a
make
straight movie.
straight horror.
Just a straight
I would
horror
love
movie.
to
I
see
would
that.
love that.
Remember how we almost got a new Little Shop of Horrors movie like a couple years
Yeah.
ago?
And then it got canceled.
Yeah.
Thank God for they cast Scarlett
Yes,
Johansson.
that was my biggest gripe.
as
I'm like,
Audrey.
I
I
can't
don't want her.
stand her.
I was almost on board. They had Chris Evans was going to play the dentist, and that was interesting.
dentist.
That
I
was
don't-
okay.
I was like, not.
I wasn't mad about that.
Yeah.
Who
I
do they
wasn't
have
mad
as
about
the
that.
sniveling piss boy?
Taron Egerton was going to be the sniveling
okay,
piss
actually,
boy.
that
Yeah.
would
Mr. Rocketman.
that wouldn't
himself.
have been a piss boy.
No, that would have been
like
fine.
endearing
I think.
character.
Yeah.
He would have been okay.
Yeah.
He would have been fine.
But yeah, I don't know. There is just something about the fact that the plant, I would say that there is a somewhat crossover of this moment where Seymour is hypnotized by the plant.
Yeah.
Where later on in the Howard Ashman movie, he is an alien. That this plant is an alien from outer space.
And so for that to have that kind of
He's a
power
big
would
green
make
mother.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. Which I am also mad is not in the musical, because that is a great song.
That song kicks
That
ass.
song is great.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
needs to be in the musical. Okay. But
Don't Feed the Plants is also great, though.
Another great one.
The song that
I
you
mean,
get.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Obviously, you
¿Por qué
like
no
that
los
one.
dos?
Yeah,
Why don't
exactly.
we have both?
Exactly.
Give
I'm
us
like,
both.
just give me it all. But I genuinely do think that the plant could have had more of a hypnotizing, outer worldly aspect that I was craving from the newest movie version of it. And I can only see that there's maybe just like a small titch of connection
Just a touch
with
there.
that, with the hypnotism bit that they did.
Yeah,
For sure.
Can we talk about the woman of the night that he
prostitute?
kills?
Oh
Because
my
it's
God, the
so
woman of the
goddamn
night.
stupid. She like hunts him down. There's a sequence where she appears in like 3 different locations as he's trying to he's like, I need to find food for a master. He's completely uninterested in her.
He's
and
just walking.
she keeps trying to get to him. And eventually gets him to agree, like, oh, yes, let's do this thing tonight. Your place or my place. It's
After
like,
she slips him with a banana
after
peel.
she sips him with a banana peel, that's how she gets him, which is so
I definitely.
silly.
So she starts unpeeling this banana peel,
Yeah.
and she's very like a sexually driven woman.
Sexually charged. you
Yeah,
know?
and
in her kind of hoey Santa outfit.
Seymour, baby.
She had fur trim on the bottom of her dress that was giving like Mrs. Claus.
Oh yeah, she
And she had a
definitely
little scarf on.
Yeah. Anyway,
You're not wrong, for sure.
the way she was taking apart that banana made me think it was going a very different direction.
Oh,
Same.
yeah.
but
for
then I
sure.
realized it was 1960.
Then it was just a comic
and
bit.
there was also no continuity in this movie because they did everything in 2 days. so yeah, the banana just disappears and he slips on the banana peel.
But the best bit is that so it's like, okay, he agrees to like take her home, quote unquote, and he doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know, and she doesn't know what she's agreeing to either, that she's about to become plant food. So she goes, your place or mine? He's like, oh, I don't have a coin to flip. She goes, flip anything. He just picks up like a small boulder from the ground.
A big boulder.
It's the
But
same
yes.
boulder.
Yeah, the little
like the-
styrofoam
It is the,
rock.
it is the same
And then
styrofoam rock.
he spits on it and goes, wet or dry? She goes, wet. Because of course she would answer that way.
I don't get it.
And then he just throws it up in the air, and then it bonks on her head, and then she's dead. He's the strongest man alive.
I think that boulder is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's a strong rock.
But also, he can throw it.
Yeah.
My guy has the force of a train.
I mean, there is a scene where he is actually carrying a full person over his shoulder,
Yeah.
fireman style, and actually seeming to make pretty short work of it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not breaking a
but
sweat.
it also looked like an actual person
I
draped
think it
over
was.
his shoulder.
Like, I don't think it was
Yeah.
a
I think
puppet.
he's just
I don't
ripped.
think they had time to make a dummy for
No
that.
way. He's
so
just
there's no way.
ripped
He's
as hell.
just ripped.
He's got the sleeper build or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he feeds the woman.
It's another person he feeds to the plant.
That's basically the last one.
then
right?
the cops show up.
Oh my god.
the cops.
Yeah.
I don't even.
And then we have, the extremely long chase
Them's
scene.
the breaks.
Yeah, so basically, we can chalk this up to what happens is the police are looking into this. So, like, there's a lot of evidence. There's people missing. It seems like you guys know something about this. Meanwhile, Seymour's about to win an award for this plant, and it's about to blossom. As it blossoms, there are 4 different blooms that open up at sunset, and inside of them are the really shitty paper mache faces they say of like all the victims, right? Yeah. So this plant digests these people, and then their faces appear in these like flower pods.
Kind of a cool idea.
It is a cool, fun idea, but it completely outs Seymour. It's like, oh, fuck, here's all the people we've been looking for. You're the killer. And Seymour's like, I didn't mean it. And then runs away for a 10-minute chase sequence.
No joke, 10 minutes. And I would say a good, 8 minutes of that, he's running over tires in a tire factory.
It's like they just saw this junkyard and like, this would be fun to shoot around
That's
here.
absolutely what happened. They're
Yeah.
like, look at all these tires. Let's run. No one's going to get tired of this.
And then the toilets.
Yeah.
And then toilets.
Yeah.
So you don't have to check your cups. He wouldn't hide in a toilet.
That
And
doesn't
then
make any sense.
That is an actual line from the movie.
Yeah, you know Seymour. He hates this.
He never shits.
He
He's a
hates
weird
toilets.
Yep.
man. And then, the weirdest part about the chase scene, not because it's so long, but also they keep firing their gun randomly into the air, and then
think
they
the weirdest-
duck like they're gonna get hit back.
I think the weirdest part is that they didn't play yakety sax over that.
Oh, and at one point they run into a subway station, and 1,000 children get released from the subway station.
Weapons style.
like 2025's weapons, and they just start chasing him down the street. I don't get it.
It was foreshadowing for 2025.
Comedic antics.
Yeah, it was.
And also pad the runtime.
Yes.
Must be feature length.
And boy, did they stretch this out with this chase
Oh, yeah,
sequence.
they did.
Did not need to happen.
They said we need to utilize this area. We've got a train station, we got tire factory, and a toilet factory.
really
we
did the
gotta
most
use
with it. But then, like, that's pretty much all we can say about this chase sequence, right?
Oh yeah, we're done.
Because then what happens is Seymour finds a way to like get like he manages to escape, goes directly back to the shop, and he's like, I got something you can eat, and then goes inside of the plant himself. I don't know if he knew he was going to die.
He tried. He wanted to kill it.
He's got a
he
knife
was-
at his hand,
he
so he
was,
thinks.
trying to kill it from the inside.
Here's
Just
the
an idiot,
problem,
though, is the
guys.
problem.
No. He tried to kill the plant. If he had not tried to kill it, he would have killed it. Because all of his killings weren't on purpose.
That's true.
So the one time he tries to kill something on purpose, he dies instead.
Imagine that. Imagine he turns
He's a
his life.
sniveling
He's like,
little
you know,
bitch
I've
boy.
killed this many people this far. Might as well just lean into it. And he's terrible at killing people
Yeah,
all of a sudden
he
when he's
would be
trying
horrible.
to.
He would be.
But so yeah, he gets swallowed up by the plant. Mushnick and the cops who have been chasing him this whole time make it back into the shop. And guess what? There's a new face in one of the flowers. And how does this movie end, Derek? What is the final line to really nail this ending of the movie?
Derek's shaking his head.
Sopranos was really famous for cutting to black, and I think they got it from this movie because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
literally shows Seymour's face, and he just goes, "I didn't mean it," and then it cuts to black.
And that's the
I
end
was
of the movie.
pissed.
Get it? That's it.
He's like, wait, that was how it ended?
Furious.
Like it is the most like lackluster, quick ending. Just wrap it up, fade to black, we're done. Like it's not very satisfying.
No, and then the only reaction that you get is everybody else freaking out that Seymour died.
Oh, that's right. It didn't cut to black. It just did in my brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mushnick did not die. Audrey did not die.
Nope. Nor did she have really any relevance to the story at all.
Audrey was just like a yes man, just
Yeah.
smiling and nodding at everything.
She
that
said some really
happened.
long words, but that was about her only.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that those words are not real words because
we were
looked
Googling
up
them.
because we were
Yeah.
Googling some of those
Yeah, I think
and
the
nothing
on-
came up.
The only real one she said was like magnanimous. I'm like, okay, that's a real word. I know that much,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Did
no,
she use it correctly in the context? I don't even remember.
That's fair. That much I don't know.
I feel like a couple of times she threw out a big word out there, and I'm like, I don't think that makes any
You
sense
don't know
based
what
on the
that
context.
means.
It's
of-
like she was trying to sound smarter than she actually was.
She like pulled out a
Yeah.
thesaurus and picked a word. She's like, ooh, that sounds nice. We'll use that.
It was
maybe that was the gag,
It was
or-
sounding like Glinda a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it absolutely was.
Absolutely.
Well, and then we didn't even really cover the segment of like Audrey coming home with Seymour
with his mom.
with his mom.
yeah, we
just
kind
kind of
we
another
touched
We
on it.
touched on it, but
comedy
like
sequence to
It was just a
Yeah.
throwaway.
No, what I think is funny is though their second date when they're having this little picnic inside the shop because Mushnick basically says, Seymour, you need to take care of this plant overnight. I'm sick of looking after it, right? There's a bit where like Seymour tells her he loves her, she loves him too, and she like wants to like look more into that. The entire time the plant in the background is going, feed me. And she's like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and you're talking about how hungry you are.
while you're eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I
Like,
made
all right,
you.
fine, eat some more then. And so this leads to her being so fed up with his stuff. She's like, you're nuts, Seymour. I can't handle you anymore. You just want to talk about how hungry you are.
Yeah,
She like
world's craziest
completely-
breakup.
Completely flips on him. She wants nothing to do with him because he won't stop talking about being hungry, even though it's the plant doing it the whole time.
Man, Seymour should have broke up with the plant because that's all the plant ever fucking talks about.
That's all it does.
All right.
But yeah, that's 1960s Little Shop of Horrors.
It
The
is.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Do you guys have any like surprises, things that on this viewing surprised you, other than what we've talked about today, or like a reiteration of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just really like some of the, particularly most of the early stuff works best comedy wise.
Agreed.
Yeah.
First half is definitely stronger.
First half is pretty strong, and I'm reminded of one of my favorite jokes from it was when Seymour comes in, he's got all of his
Yep.
fingers bandaged.
Oh my god!
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh, yeah.
And they go, "What happened to your fingers?" And he goes, "B." And they're like, "Well, all 10 fingers, 10 Bs."
got stung by 10 bees on each of your
Each of your
individual
individual
fingers.
fingers. Yeah.
It's just
That's
the
just
like
like-
sincerity of him saying, "Yeah, 10 bees."
yeah, it's just
Dry,
10 bees.
just funny. Yeah, it's so earnest.
I think that's the only good thing Seymour does in the movie.
I think you're right. That's my favorite thing he says in the movie.
I think what really surprised me, I think genuinely, is Mushnick's involvement. Just how much he was involved.
He's
with
like, "Yeah,
this.
cool, let's kill people."
And
I'm on board. We're making money.
yeah, and it just makes you wonder about like why they ended up making the choice of actually having Mushnick backing off from how involved he was in this original
interesting.
Yeah.
version of it to then the later movie musical.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I just it makes sense that Mushnick would end up becoming a money hungry person
Yeah.
that's driven by that in this one. So it surprised me that they actually reeled him back
Yeah, they did.
later on.
I think they wanted to make him more likable, probably.
Yeah.
and he's still not likable in my opinion.
No.
I don't. Yeah, I came to the conclusion that I don't like Mushnick.
Yeah.
Period. And I will stay on that hill.
And that's completely valid.
I will stay on that hill.
Derek, do you want to discuss our expectation results before we get into our surprises?
Yeah, let's do it.
My first one said several differences from the musical, and I mean, we've spent this entire time talking about the differences between the two. I mean, like, most of them for the better. I don't think there's anything that they got rid of that I was like, oh, I wish that was in the musical version of it.
Except Dick
Except for-
Miller.
yeah.
Except Dick Miller eating the flowers, goddammit.
Exactly.
Put him back. He didn't stop the entire movie. We kind of stopped talking about it, but he was there till the end, always eating flowers. There's a line that I think we missed it while we were watching it, but I remember it so vividly, where he's like, oh, well, I got to get going home. The missus making gardenias or something like that. Like, it's so deep in his life that at home his wife is making him flower dinners. Like,
Yep.
Incredible.
It's the greatest commitment to the bit. I love it so much.
Oh yeah. I mean, your end of it was like several differences from the musical, and you
Yeah.
think there were a lot of differences. My end of it is like I was surprised at how many similar plot points there were. I was shocked.
There were a few like one-to-one lines too,
Yeah.
which is
For
really
sure.
fun. Like there's a line in the dentist shop where he's like, "Aren't you like do you want to use Novocaine?" He's like, "What for? Dulls the senses." And like that's directly in the musical version too. Oh, I said some iconic characters missed in the musical. I really did miss Fouch, the flower eating character, and Seymour's mom. But like, I really can't see where Seymour's mom would fit in the movie
I'm
musical
glad
version
she's
of
not in
it.
the musical.
It wouldn't make sense. She was just funny in the movie.
Same with Mrs. Shiva.
Yeah,
And Mrs. Shiva is referenced in the stage
Yeah, she gets
version.
like a throwaway line.
But she has a throwaway line of that the Shivas are the most important funereal account.
yeah.
And-
Because I guess we didn't
They're
mention that
dropping
in this
off like
movie,
flies.
she shows up 3, maybe 4 different times with a different funeral to be going to.
Yes.
of
Yeah.
different family members.
Her uncle's brother's
son,
son
yeah.
or something, which is just her nephew.
And then
Yeah,
there's,
so
like
I
my
think-
nephew's friend or something. Like there's
Yeah, so I think that is their homage to Mrs. Shiva from this original movie
Which I
because
like.
she's a throwaway character, but she's also just
She's charming.
She's charming and she's funny.
she's
I liked her
funny
a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah.
It's another good like recurring bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Oh,
the
yeah.
flower.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
The
movie-
Dick Miller. Yeah.
I think that's why we ended up skipping so many bits, because there are just a lot of reoccurring bits
Yeah.
that were very entertaining. Of
course.
But most of them were in like the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
Fun puppet was my next expectation. And yeah, I mean, it was charming.
fine.
It was like one of those puppets you look at and you're like, somebody built that.
Yep. Somebody
I
did
loved
that.
the cotton on the inside.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
like a bunch
wild.
of like cotton, almost like straw looking
It like
stuff
these
on the inside of the
huge
mouth.
reeds sticking out that looked like they were in like
that was-
some
that was kinda fun,
caillou or
too.
something.
I said it was going to be funnier than it has any right to be, and absolutely hilarious in the strangest ways, and just
Yeah.
like the most you would never expect them. And I loved it for that.
I
loved
think it
the
was
comedy that
also
came
the way
through.
that people talked in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Is really also
Absolutely.
just normally amongst themselves.
Exactly.
You know.
Series tones that come off funny in 2025. Well, I mean, it was a completely different tone than I expected. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you sit down expecting this to be a serious, blood-hungry movie.
For sure.
You get eating flowers and all the shit. But yeah, I don't even know how to answer this expectation other than it was
Yeah, it's
different than I
tough.
expected.
Yeah. My next expectation was it's schlocky in all the best ways. And I mean, absolutely. It's just everything you want from a 1960s like B horror movie shot in a few days or a couple weeks to do. Like it's got everything you want from it. And I loved it for that.
For sure. A wild plot that just feels so 1960. Yeah, very little substance. And I kind of talked about this at the beginning of the episode that I think that's why it fit for a musical so well, because really the plot beats are quick.
Yeah.
You could get through this movie in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But if you mix in songs and mix in intrigue and connect the characters, a musical makes a lot of sense to
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. My last expectation just said just ridiculous plot devices. And yeah, honestly, really. And a weird part about that is like Dick Miller as this character that eats flowers, he's like like a driving force for a lot of the moments where he's like, Mushnik, you shouldn't fire this kid. Listen,
he's
this plant's going to make you a lot of money.
He's giving
like,
advice.
He's weirdly the supportive character that helps us get to other points of the story.
Yeah.
For such a strange character that shouldn't
He's the real
exist.
urchin.
He's the real urchin.
He's the real urchin.
He's the flower urchin.
The urchins were the flowers we ate along the way.
He was the third
Yes.
urchin because he had the 2 girls.
trio. What was your last?
Oh, right. I have another. Just that the characters were vaguely reminiscent. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
you know, I would say that they were vaguely reminiscent, except for Seymour. He was a little bitch.
Little piss baby. We hate him so much. Do you have many surprises for this one?
We've kind of just talked through them.
Yeah, I really didn't write a lot. I mean, like the first time I watched it, as we've mentioned a lot, Dick Miller's character eating flowers threw me for a fucking whirl. I was not ready for that to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so out of nowhere, and for it to not even be a big deal to anyone. Like,
Yeah.
Mushnik definitely is like, okay, sure, but doesn't really make anything about that because, like, I mean, listen, he's buying the flowers. Like,
Yeah,
I'm still
it's like
making
whatever
money.
floats your boat.
Whatever, who cares, right? For
sure.
I was super surprised at the fact that I was surprised by this the first time, even more so the second time, that I forgot that Audrey Jr. has mind control powers.
Yeah, I
That
totally
just
forgot that
is
he had
never
mind
used
control
again.
powers
So
too.
weird.
And it's truly surprising to me, like how this thing has turned into what we know as Little Shop of Horrors
Yeah.
and like the phenomenon that it became. Like
wildly
it's
different.
so crazy that it exists.
I mean, I was surprised about how funny it was. Obviously, you don't
absolutely.
expect a comedy, the surprise comedy. And then Jack Nicholson also surprised me too because he shouldn't have been there. All right,
So it's time for us to get to our verdicts then, right?
What's your verdict?
You know, I guess I see what you wrote there, and I'm going to follow you here. It is a certified horrible movie.
Yeah, dude.
I think this movie shouldn't exist for a lot of reasons, just like the nature of how it was created, the time restraints, the budget, all of it. And yet somehow it fueled one of the great, like to me, in my opinion, one of the greatest musicals of all time. It's just ridiculous from start to finish, and somehow it works for that. It is campy in its weirdness and the strange directions that it goes. So I sincerely thank Roger Corman for this insane movie from some fever dream that has led to so much more. It's got all you want from a B horror movie on a low budget. So I say, do feed the plant.
Hey, I finished mine the same way.
Hey.
Certified horrible. This movie is so 60s, it kills me. It's hilarious. It's wild. It makes little sense. The characters are stupid. No one does anything you expect them to do, but it is a blast, and it's a blast to watch with friends. I'd recommend you definitely feed the plants and check this one out. It's a fun time capsule of the 60s. Does that count trivia?
Look out, here comes Count Trivia.
I love you.
Look out, I've got some trivia. I didn't have a fun bit for this. I just thought I would come in and be the loving count that gives you the trivia.
Hey, Triv.
all the
I have,
time. Yes.
I have something to tell you.
What's up?
I have a little bit of trivia myself.
You have this is my job. You're taking
Well,
my
it's
job.
trivia about the podcast. This is like the first episode ever where you're like the
Yes.
only character.
That is true. We didn't have any Science Jim, any High Horse. There are typically other characters on this podcast, not just a vampire that gives you trivia. And I'm noticing another vampire here in the studio today. We have the wonderful Nosferatu.
We don't have time for that.
You also,
We don't have time for this.
you also did add one because you also added Audrey too.
Oh yeah, don't forget about me.
And Miss Piggy.
God. See, so there are several different.
There were several.
There are several
I don't know what
different
you're
characters.
talking about.
I just mean like, recurring characters.
But so let's get into some of the trivia that I found for this movie. There's a bit of trivia here. Some of them more interesting than other ones. Charles B. Griffith, who is responsible for like helping write this movie, right, stood off screen providing the voice for Audrey Jr. as a reference for the actors and actresses, right? So it wasn't meant to be the end all be all voice.
Did
It was
they
just
keep it?
the voice of the plant was supposed to be dubbed in by another actor in post-production, but Griffith's vocalization of the plant got laughs. And producer-director Roger Corman was notoriously cheap, so his voice remained in the final print of the film.
Wow.
It wasn't supposed to be him.
So it wasn't ADR.
Oh, so the problem was that he was just shouting it from off camera.
yeah, he would like
Oh my
half-assing it
God.
just so like the actor had something to work with. Which is
that
so much
actually that
Yeah.
that might explain it.
explains
That's
all of it.
hilarious.
The scene in which a character is run over by a train was accomplished by persuading the railroad crew to back the locomotive away from the actor. The shot was later printed in reverse, so it looks like it ran him over, right?
Cool.
Like I mentioned before, Roger Corman would shoot scenes with two cameras rolling at runs placed at different angles. He rarely shot retakes and spent little time on lighting the scenes. Apparently, Jack Nicholson would get on. He was like, "This is the weirdest movie I've ever been a part of." Like, because usually there's a decent amount of setup and doing it. He's like, we would basically roll in, turn the lights up, roll the cameras once, and then move on to the next thing. Like, it was such a quick turnaround. Dick Miller, who played the flower-eating guy, was frequently asked if he actually ate the flowers. On more than one occasion, he devoured a bloom in front of stunned interviewers to prove that it wasn't movie magic.
I mean, if I were him, I would just take flowers with
what
me.
a fucking
I was also
power
going to say
move.
edible flowers exist.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that's definitely a thing.
Listen, I'm a chef. I use edible flowers pretty frequently,
Can
actually.
you imagine just being in an interview? So did you really do that?
What do you think? What do you think?
Is that real enough for you? You think that's movie magic, you assholes?
Give me a chrysanthemum right now.
It's just like he had to like really start premeditating that. It's like, I'm just going to start carrying flowers around in case someone wants to ask me the same damn question again. I mean, we already know it's remade into the successful stage musical, later adapted into the movie from the 80s.
really?
So yeah, it's
I had
Holy
no
crap,
idea.
that's insane.
But
You gotta check those
the
out.
reason I wanted to mention this though, the successes of the musical led to the animated series Little Shop in 1991, on which apparently director Roger Corman served as a consultant. It's weird. In this version, Seymour and Audrey are children; they're little kids.
Excuse me?
And Audrey is Audrey is the daughter of Mushnick in this one, so like they have that connection. The weirdest thing to me in the entirety of that is Audrey's main character point. She really wants to be a firefighter.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Out of nowhere.
that's kind of adorable, though.
Like, where does that come from? Why does this exist?
Wait, the
That's really
plant's kinda
cute,
cute.
though.
It's like a whole thing, but yeah, the plant's got a little bit of like R&B kind of rap style to its music. There is still music in it, but none of the like no doo-wops, no dentist, no characters like that. It's just like kind of like an early '90s typical kind of cartoon that
I
went
have to watch
nowhere.
this
It's
immediately.
all of the episodes are on YouTube. You can watch this entire
Tara
thing.
Strong's in it. What
Oh
the
my
heck?
God,
Yeah.
Tara Strong.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's kind of crazy. I like it's. I've watched a few episodes. It's strange. It's very, very weird. My favorite part about it is the very first line Seymour says. He's like, "Hi, my name's Seymour, and ever since I was little," he's a fucking kid. "Ever since I was little, I always knew I wanted to be a nerd." That's what he's striving towards in this entire thing.
You gotta have life goals, and that life goal.
So it's funny that you talked about the difference, like the comparison, the opposite ends of the spectrum between Dick Miller as the flower eater and Seymour as the character. Apparently, Dick Miller was originally offered the role of Seymour Krelborn, but declined it in favor of the flower eating Mr. Fouch instead.
That is amazing.
Okay, listen though.
Chose that role.
I don't blame him. If
No, I would
if
too.
I read this script, I would pick flower eating.
I would have
Dick.
picked that too.
absolutely.
I'm like, I'm sorry. If you're going to make me look like one of the Three Stooges, hell no.
Yeah.
Hey, don't compliment him.
No.
He looked nothing like the
No,
Three
you're
Stooges.
right.
He sure felt like one.
Hey,
I didn't know this because I didn't watch the show, but you know Malcolm in the Middle, that show?
Yeah.
Watch that show.
The goofy, quirky, quote unquote nerdy kids in school were referred to
Oh,
as
yeah.
the Krelborns, which is an homage to this to Seymour. I didn't know that was a thing. It's kind of cute. It's funny that Derek mentioned about like not knowing that this is going to be funny. Apparently, it was included among the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies.
Okay, that was the most bullshit sentence.
The 500 movies
You mean like the
nominated
Society
for the
of
top
Silent
100.
Silent Sing. What was it? The Society.
Of Silent Plant
Silent Flower
Observers?
Observers of Southern California. That was
It's,
another thing in the movie we didn't talk about.
Sosofsk.
That's like an eldritch being trying to say it's
me,
And then my last bit of trivia here. Like the musical it inspired, this film ends with the plant eating Seymour. Ironically, when you get the 1980s version of the movie, audiences did not like that and rejected that ending of the movie, thinking it was too bleak. So they changed it instead, leading it to be reshot with Seymour surviving and marrying Audrey instead, which pisses
Kill me.
Hey,
I
Kill
hate
me.
general audiences.
Hey, I do too. But that did make us get I'm a Green Mean Mother from Outer Space.
It's in both versions of the
It
movie.
is in both versions of the movie.
They just changed the ending of it.
Yeah.
One
You're
kills
right.
Seymour, the other one doesn't. Which I
That's
mean, he
right.
does kill it in
I
a fun
remember
way.
now.
What happens in the reshoot is Seymour takes like these wires from the ceiling
right.
and shocks it to death
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
fun like 80s electricity
Which,
effect.
again, we're like, oh, okay, he can't kill it from the inside.
yeah.
But apparently electric shocks work.
We should have used that. But it's so upsetting because so much work went into the effects of the sequence of Audrey 2's taking over New York City
Yep.
and just destroying the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
If it was like it's been said, if it was released with that ending that year, which I believe was the same year as Aliens, the sequel, it would have it stood a chance to beat it for best practical effects, like special effects in a movie.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
so much work went into it, and they threw it away because audiences didn't like it. They wanted the happy ending. 'cause
They
they're
wanted to
stupid.
justify murder. They
Yeah.
wanted to justify the murders so that they could get their happy ending.
It's ridiculous.
Ironically, Seymour was too likable.
Yeah.
in
Yes.
that version.
Rick Moranis did too
they didn't
good of
want
a
to see him
job.
go,
I
even
mean,
though he
love
murdered
It's
Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis
how
and
can you
Ellen Green
not
did
love
too
him?
good.
They're so good, and there's very few people I'd watch murder someone and be like, "You're okay."
Yeah, and Rick
Don't worry
Moranis
about
is
it.
definitely one of them. But Guy, I think it's
that's
time.
it.
I think it's time to tell Isaac to stop talking about Little Shop of
It's okay. Can I give a
Horrors.
fun fact about the movie that you did
Please,
not bring up?
Please
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it.
In the musical version of the movie, they actually the urchin that or the woman at the beginning of Skid Row is not
An urchin. Yeah.
and she actually
yeah.
her voice was actually dubbed over by a famous French opera singer, if I
Whoa.
recall correctly. And so the woman who is on screen for Skid Row is actually not singing the
She's
song.
not
It is
actually singing
somebody's-
it?
It's
That's
somebody
crazy.
else
I think
entirely.
I think what it was is the woman who you see in the movie
Yeah.
is French opera singer.
Oh, is the French opera singer.
She's the French opera singer, and the problem is that when she sang, she didn't sound like a black woman from Skid Row
Yeah.
singing. She sounded like a
Like a
French
French woman?
opera
Yeah.
woman. So she.
So they dubbed over her.
So they
voice.
dubbed her over with
But
someone
she
who's
was like
a little
this
soulful,
famous,
you know.
So sad.
She was like this really famous French opera singer.
Whoa.
And everything too. And so there was that
Destroyed.
little discrepancy
Wild.
that happened. It was crazy.
Goodness.
All right. Well, we've run out of time here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us here.
Please.
It's been such a pleasure.
Tell the folks where they can find you. Tell everybody everything. Where do you want to be found?
Yeah, what's
You
your
will
address?
be found. Like your
Where
everything.
is my
Your
address?
mother's
Let
maiden
me-
name. First pet.
Let me just dox myself.
social security number?
My current social medias are Curly's Magical Journey.
With a K.
With a K.
Curly's Magical Journey.
Yes. The Magical Journey is my love for theme parks, horror, and then, of course, my journey with ulcerative colitis and IBD right now.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Great stuff. Informative. Go
It's
check it out.
so
No,
great.
it's
It's so great because the general populace does not know too much about IBD.
Yeah.
And
Listen, I'm
what
learning a
those-
lot
and
with everything you post.
exactly.
Get the word out.
So yeah, there's that. That's also where you can find most of where my theater advertising things will be.
Sweet.
And yeah, otherwise I'm just working with Night Signal at this point.
And I suppose we should, because we've talked around it a lot. Courtney and I are currently in a production of The Little Shop of Horrors. It's a wonderful thing. Come check
Yeah.
us out. We are
Yep.
opening show runs from September 12th to October 14th.
at Centerpoint Legacy
Centerpoint
Theater.
Legacy Theater in Centerville, Utah.
And we are only performing with each other like once or twice.
It's a horrible thing to be cast with your friend in a show where it is double cast and you're in opposite casts.
Yes.
So we perform on opposite nights of each other. We get one night only together, at least
Yep.
confirmed right now.
at
We'll
least
see.
confirmed as of right now.
Yeah. But please
but
check it
yeah.
out. Courtney does a wonderful job as one of the doo-ops, the urchin Crystal.
Yes, my third time playing
Yeah.
Crystal.
And you're killing it. And it shows. It's a great time.
And then, Isaac's absolutely killing it as being Seymour.
It's just because I'm a schmuck in real life. I'm not acting at all up on that stage.
As long as you're not a
He
dirty
is-
little piss boy.
He
Yeah.
is red in the face during Get It. Okay.
She took a picture of me at a rehearsal the other day and sent it to me. I'm like, I am literally the color of a tomato. It's crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, because he's singing that hard.
I'm
and
going
he's
for it.
riffing, okay?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he knows how to riff.
I've heard him riff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
But, like, he also, I got a really good shot of him that I gave him his Rick Moranis moment where he's singing in front of the plant's face,
Okay,
too.
okay, hold on. One more thing talking about, because I get no other places to gush about Little Shop, the movie from the 1980s.
This could just be a long episode. That's fine.
It is.
I didn't want talking about how they were going to do a remake of it, right? We talked about the Scarlett Johansson, whatever. I'm glad it doesn't exist because I know they would not put as much craft and love into the Audrey 2 puppet as they
Oh,
did.
no, it'd be
Yeah.
CGI for
Because
sure.
the 1980s
True,
movie is
yeah.
a completely,
Or at least partially practical.
Is
Yeah.
a completely practical, like hydraulic move. There
Oh,
were people
yeah.
under the floorboards moving levers and pulleys to
Yeah.
make it move. All of the mouth had articulation. The
Yeah.
way that they made it look like it was singing and look so good was they had the actors singing along with it in slow motion.
Yep.
So they shot it at a different frame rate so that when they played it up, it made it look all synced up and it was so perfect. Like, I've watched this movie several times, and knowing that every time, I'm like, Rick Moranis is solid. I cannot tell for a second that he's singing in slow motion. Like, it
Yeah.
is so
I mean,
so seamlessly
I feel like the
done.
most that you can tell about Rick Moranis' performance is how much he looks like he's enunciating.
Yes,
as
that's
if
fair.
he is on stage
Yes.
for it.
And
And
it's-
that's about it.
But yeah, so
amazing.
God, like beautiful, like some of the best work on like monster practical effects ever in a movie. I so adore it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But anyway, that's me. I'm done talking about Little Shop. Nick, tell us about you and where people can
Nick.
find you and what you are currently working on as well.
Oh, yes.
Unless Kortney was not done here.
Go for it.
I felt like she was throwing it to you. She's like, and I work with Night Signal Entertainment.
I work with Night Signal Entertainment, and then of course, if you ever want to visit a haunted house, you can go and visit Castle of Chaos.
Yes, which we will be doing for sure.
Please do.
All right, Nick.
For our stuff, I mean, you can always you can find all our social links and stuff on nightsignalentertainment.com. That's the easy place to find us in our mailing list as well.
Wish list Forbidden Solitaire.
Wish list Forbidden
in the
Solitaire
works.
is the
Looking
main
pretty
plug.
sick.
That's and we're working. Yeah, there's our next game is a horror, an FMV 90s solitaire horror game.
Yep.
So cool.
It's very weird, but it will be.
It's already looking
fun.
so good.
Yeah.
We have
you're the man on the inside. You can see
Yeah.
like what's going on in this Frankenstein's laboratory.
we have filmed some very nice live action segments.
yes,
again.
that's so cool.
So cool.
Yes.
so excited.
They are fantastic. You guys will absolutely enjoy this one. And it's a very forgiving game programming wise for
Good.
solitaire people.
Good.
If you don't think you're good at solitaire, don't worry about
Good.
it.
I'm glad. I suck
Because
at
I'm not good at solitaire either.
I suck at most card games, especially video game card games. So that's great for me to hear.
Yes, the collaboration with Grey Alien Games, luckily, they already have been making solitaire games for a very, very long
Yeah,
time.
so they know that's the ins
They're
and
very
outs.
forgiving when it comes to how they've programmed solitaire, and
nice.
I'm very, very happy about it.
Incredible.
well,
go check them out for
Yes,
sure.
I greatly appreciate Kortney and Nick Lives joining us here on That Was Horrible. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to do this with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know.
It's been fun.
we've
Thanks for
been
chatting
rehearsing.
about one of my favorite things. Yeah, we're almost there. We open in a week from when we're recording this, so that's exciting.
You can also go check out. I actually just started a new podcast as well.
Oh yeah, Derek's got a self plug.
yeah.
This is the first we've done this on That Was
Yeah,
Horrible.
because it just launched last week.
Tell us about
it's
it.
called Describe Salt. It's an improv podcast, if you're familiar with long form improv, where we bring on a new comedian every week and have them try and describe salt in one word that hasn't already been used. And then we
Wow.
do long form improv based on that. Isaac was on an episode 4. You can go listen to it. Describe Salt on everywhere you listen.
Yeah,
to
how many
podcasts.
episodes do you have out by now?
5
episodes. Like that's
6th
it's-
episode launching this week.
It's wild how fast this came along because like Derek texted me like not that long ago, but like, hey, we've got this idea for this new podcast. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then it just like came to be so quick.
It's a very fast thing. You just sit down
Yeah.
and improv. So.
Yeah, and you're great at that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely check out Describe Salt. Is a good
Yeah,
time.
it's super fun. Check it out. Anyway, that's us.
Yeah, that's us here. We jumped in the spot because we had to get our fun guests on here to talk about Little Shop when the opportunity presented itself. We were going to talk about Dracula Dead and Loving It from 1995.
We'll watch that next week.
So yeah, we'll check that out next week. For a recap on that, 1995, 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dapper Count Dracula, who's played by Leslie Nielsen of like the Naked Gun fame, relocates from his Transylvanian castle to Victorian London with his lavish assistant Renfield in search of new blood. He finds it in a pair of beautiful young women, Mina and her best friend Lucy. When Mina's straight-laced fiancé Jonathan notices his future bride's odd behavior, he calls in his mentor, vampire hunter Van Helsing, to save the day. It's just Dracula. It's just Dracula. But it's funny. It's funny Dracula. But if you've enjoyed what we've been doing on here, check us out on all of our social medias. We are on Instagram at _was_horrible, Twitter at TWH Podcast, Facebook at That Was Horrible Podcast, YouTube at That Was Horrible, and also on TikTok at That Was Horrible.
Wash horrible.
No,
right.
should we have them help us out with our sign off here?
We have our sign off. We always say Garfield be with you and then stay
spooky.
That one didn't count.
That one
All
didn't
right.
count. So yes, please. As always, Garfield be with you.
Stay spooky.
Goodbye.